Usually takes about 13 seconds before it actually recognizes it. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are doing some Dungeons and Dragons. You can see I have a different headset. This is something that's better when I'm talking with other people, and we have other people on the stream today. So if you guys like to introduce yourself, starting with T-Lore. How's it going?
Hello, everybody. My name is T-Lore. I make YouTube videos. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons before, so this will be completely blind. Should be fun.
Mm-hmm. Makes all my rules changes kind of. Well, I don't know the rules anyways, so
Exactly.
hopefully that works out well. And our other person here, Grenade. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, some Grenade. I make videos for Talk Button on YouTube, and I've played some D&D here and there, but I'm kind of really excited to see how this game goes.
Awesome. So I do intend to have a lot more players. Two is, as you would guess, an absolute minimum. I usually like to have 3 minimum, but you do what you can. When you schedule an event, you keep the schedule. I do not care. Like, will be more people coming in a future week. So, at the very least, they can watch Session 0 and get a sense of what's going on. So, where do we begin? I guess we start by explaining the world that I wish to play in, and how this world came to be. So, a year back or so, I was trying to make my own version, my own tabletop RPG. And while I never actually finished it, a lot of the good ideas I wanted to try out, like I thought they were fantastic ideas that just needed more practice, more experimentation. So my idea for this campaign is that I am putting this in the world that I created, which is still in the works of creating, but so I put it in that world, and I did some changes to the rules to make the 5th edition game work more like the game I was creating. The idea is to use 5th edition as a basis to play test the game I'm building. So, let's just really quick pull up the basic primer for Riftwind. Riftwind is a city between worlds. The magic's not fully understood by any realm. From this city, trade amongst all realms thrives. This, however, doesn't mean there's peace among the lands. Some kingdoms wish for control and push through it from Riftwind. Others are angered by the amount of control Riftwind has over other realms, and seemingly arbitrary laws of Riftwind, often not even fully understood by the very guards that uphold them. There are, however, one caste of people that have exemption from these rules. A coveted position that's fought over, bribed for, snuck into, but in the end, generally is decided by luck alone. This is the position of a member of the Riftwind Explorers, a group of adventurers given lenience to travel across the many worlds to their leisure, making their mark along the way. The only rules they must follow are that of the Narciso family, the original creators of what is now the city of Riftwind. Whew. So that's the idea of this world is it is one where you guys there is a general hub world, which is Riftwind. And from there, you'll have quests that send you into another world, into another area. You'll have time to like understand, get a lay of the land, and then you'll have your quest sort of thing. Enough people will be stopping by Riftwind so that you will have a consistent cast of members. You're not just randomly meeting every single new person every time. But generally, this is built more of a... I think the formula is called Monster of the Week. Hopefully, every mission that we send you on, you will be done, if not by the end of the session, by the end of another session after that. Whew. So far, what do you guys think?
I dig it.
Yeah, I'm actually really hyped about the whole traveling between worlds kind of thing. That's kind of awesome.
So I will state this. One of the arbitrary rules of Riftwind is you're not allowed to travel from Riftwind to any world that is not your natural plane. So this is one of the arbitrary rules that people hate. But at the other time, it has stopped wars, so there's probably a place for it. So one of the things is, as we're going Session 0, a lot of this is going to be you guys basically figuring out what world you're from. And Riftwind, Ren, I believe you talked about in your background you want something. Let me go confirm it. Yeah, you're involved in trade a lot, if I'm correct.
Yeah, with his false identity.
So is it fair to say that you've Riftwind? No one just goes there for a vacation. People go there with some sort of job, some sort of mission. Often, the center of Riftwind is a giant mercantile area. Is it fair to say that you? I'm gonna. If it's okay, I'm gonna say that you've gone to Riftwind where Captain Gilbert probably has not, if they have no purpose there. So I can explain. You guys would not want to live on Riftwind. There's no sun. It's like the entire plane is just about 10 miles in radius. There's no sun, so you have to actually find other ways. Very few people actually live there, and those that do often have to use certain things to make sure general livelihood works. Oof. The entire plane is just one city.
A bustling city.
It is a bustling city. There is no day or night cycle, so it just never sleeps. But so because of that, you guys will have to figure out, and we can discuss as we're trying to create our characters, because that's the thing. We're going to start by helping you finish off your characters. While each of you guys built characters, both of you have at least one theme that still needs to be done. I made sure to check, and I was going to tell you here, not earlier. But yeah, as we're creating your characters and we figure out the lore of your characters a bit more, we can figure out what kind of world they have, and feel free to add to the world yourself. I would like to get your ideas involved when I can. Whew. So, who wants to start with us addressing your character?
Keeler, if you want.
I mean, sure. Yeah, why not?
All right, Captain Gilbert, your pirate. So let's start with a just little mechanic theme, and this is one of the themes I had for idea. So, first off, for anyone who's wondering, Captain Gilbert, I spent some time to build their character out. They want to be a swashbuckling fighter sort of character, so we're going to be building them a dexterity-based battle master. They also chose their feat to be. I chose their feat to be just more superior dice. What's it called? Yeah, the martial adept. And they also took the superior technique fighting style. So they have 3 maneuvers that they can use. With that, there is one thing that I did that might not be, that you might not care for. So I know you said you just wanted for yourself above average wisdom for a pirate, but like average wisdom for a normal human being. That's what you said?
Pretty much, yeah.
So you might notice you actually have a pretty decently high wisdom. That's because I made your race human, which their special ability amongst all races is they just have generally average, above average stats. They don't have any dark vision, no special abilities like that, just above average. I just realized using the rules of Tasha's Cauldron to anything, Tasha's Cauldron, we can actually basically make you any race you want, and the only difference to your ability scores is your wisdom will go from 14 to 12, which is above average, and your intelligence will go from 9 to 8, which good can tell you means very little. So, from there, we just have to figure out what kind of race you would want to be.
Okay.
So, I was trying to think of what races you'd be interested in. First off, I should note that in the world of Riftwind, if you're like halfling, half orc, elf, like this doesn't like demand like if you're specifically elf, you're not always living 1,000 years and meditate and always consider. It's a general personality trait is the idea. Dwarves don't have to be super short, but they do have to be stocky and strong. Like what would be considered a race in one realm may just be a culture in another, is the general sense.
Yeah.
So, with that, I guess we should focus on the personality then. What sort of... I know you kind of want to be a scrappy fighter. Like, one thing we could do is we could just make you a half-orc and dedicate yourself deep into that scrappy fighting. Another option is we could go stout halfling. You're going to be a little short, but you can compensate for it with just good durability and luck.
I kind of like the idea of luck, of like that stout halfling, just because it goes along with the fact that Captain Gilbert was the only one who survived a Kraken attack in the past. So that it kind of brings that luck in.
All right. So they're stouts, and the 2 main halfling races are stout and lightfoot. By the way, Grenade, please interrupt me. You do know a lot of races as well. If you have any suggestions, any options that you're like, this would be good for a scrappy fighter, do just bring it up, because.
All right.
So yeah, halfling. I will note that does mean you're short, so you're going to be size small and have a movement speed of only 25 feet instead of 30. So you move a bit slower. But it also prevents you from using heavy weapons, but you don't use heavy weapons anyways, so I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah, I'm fine with
With the athletics, so another thing is I kind of just chose your abilities for you, your skills. So if you look over at acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, I chose those four for you because I thought they would just be generally good. Actually, keeping your strength score and having athletics is fine. I'm just going to note that if you try like grappling someone or something of that nature, if they're too large compared to you, you will just automatically fail. And given that you're a size smaller, that occurs earlier. I think they still have to be 2 sizes larger. So yeah, you can grapple. You could grapple humans and other people of that nature, but you can't grapple a troll or some like large monster, like an ogre.
Makes sense.
And you're all right with that? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Okay. So I did the little stat changes, and I'm just gonna add the word lucky. It's a racial feat, and all it does is you re-roll any nat ones. So that whole nat 1 that you rolled earlier, we were just practicing rolls, and T-Lore rolled a -1. Roll. Yeah, you failed on an acrobatics check. Like, you would just get another shot at that acrobatics check is the lucky feat.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Another one is stout, which was your racial theme. This gives you resistance to both poisons and advantage on saving throws against poisons. Like, as your pirate, I want to make sure the stout halfling has that ability, because it means you can drink a lot more without dropping.
Oh, perfect.
Because drinking is considered a poison. So resistance to poison damage, and advantage. Gosh, I can't spell right now. And then advantage on poison and saves.
Yeah, bring in the rum. I'm ready.
Yep. So that's your 2 main themes. From here, it's kind of the personality, the ideals, the bonds, the flaws. And I find that a lot of people, if you allow them to just play their character, they will figure it out a lot of the times. But I would like to just give you some examples so that you can hear them and get a sense of what I'm looking for with personality traits and stuff. So I'm just going to open up the sailor background, the background you chose. And I'm going to give you a sense of the suggested characteristics they have, so you can just listen to them and think, okay, this is what I'm looking for. Let's get to it. All right, sailor. So example of the personality traits. My friends know they can rely on me no matter what. I work hard so I can play hard when the work is done. I enjoy sailing into new ports and making new friends over a flagon of ale. I stretch the truth for the sake of a good story. To me, a tavern brawl is a nice way to get to know a new city. I never pass up a friendly wager. My language is as foul as an otyugh nest. I like a job well done, especially if I can convince someone else to do it. So that is the 8 examples they give of of personality traits you could take. Obviously, if one stands out as cool, you can use it. I generally say you're the person role-playing the character. You just put a note there to make sure you know what kind of personality you want for your character. And it doesn't have to fit in those 8. Those are just the 8 examples I give.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right. So then for ideals, generally it's like, do you ideal for respect? Do you want fairness, freedom, mastery of just your craft? Do you care about people and your crewmates and stuff? Or aspirations to like own your own ships, chart your course across the world, be the captain? So ideals are just basically what kind of belief system drives you forward. What helps you identify right from wrong. That's all it generally is. For bond, this is kind of just the point of the bond is to make sure you're not Mr. orphan whose orphanage burned down and therefore has no connections. If he dies, no one cares. If I need to tug at their heartstrings, I have no one to tug at. The bond is just, I have a connection. For example, I'm loyal to the captain. The ship is most important. I'll always remember my first ship. In a harbor town, I have a paramour whose eyes nearly stole me from the sea. I take out my fair share of profits, and I want to get my due. Ooh, like stuff, stuff that drives you into the life of adventuring is generally the idea. The bond is just, it's a goal, is the way I explain it. Respect and care for my crewmates and companions. All right, I like that ideal. And so then the flaw is just very much, so to explain, I've heard a lot of people try to use arachnophobia as an example flaw, and I always dislike flaws like that. It should be something that's like more of a personality trait than like a fear or a kleptomania or something like that. So, like the examples they give of flaws. I follow orders, even if I think they're wrong. I'll say anything to avoid having to do the extra work. Once someone questions my courage, I never back down, no matter how dangerous the situation. Once I start drinking, it's very hard for me to stop. I can't help but pocket loose coins and other trinkets I come across. And my pride will probably lead to my destruction. So, alright. So treasure can't let go of the past. Okay, I like that. That is perfect example of this is why I don't use the flaws, because this is something that fits your character way better. So, treasure is the end goal of adventuring. It's okay if I pry into that to help you help build your history a little bit.
Yes.
So, how much do you know about historical piracy?
I play Sea of Thieves. That's about it.
All right, I don't play Sea of Thieves, but I have Googled some of the stuff, so I'm going to trust Google. Generally, the two sources of piracy is basically a group of people who banded together the money to get that ship and try to steal it from others. But generally, piracy by nature is piracy against a kingdom. In fact, a lot of pirates were actually hired by kingdoms to go pirate other kingdoms. After all, you're going to need somewhere to put all your treasure to actually buy with all your hard-earned cash. So, one of the things is, I could see you definitely respect for crew and care for the crewmates and companions. If the treasure is your end goal, what drew you? Like, you needed this treasure. You needed to go this deep into the life of piracy to get the money you need.
I think what I had in mind was Captain Gilbert and his crew was more of a mercenary for hire type of piracy, working for whoever offered the highest coin, and they would use that coin to basically enjoy life together within the crew.
All right. So, okay, I see what you're saying. All right. And here's the thing. I noticed. So here's one of the things. You actually, hilariously enough, have a ton of gold compared to what a level 1 character would have, which I think is perfect. But so with that mercenary group, I'm assuming. So my assumption is if they. Okay, I just made some assumptions and I am incorrect. So the thing is, right now I see that you can basically be in any world, correct? Like any world that has a wide open seed. Yeah. All right.
Basically, yeah.
Oof. You have very little intelligence. So in case you're wondering, an intelligence of -1 is not stupid. An intelligence of -1 is I did not go to school. Like, you could still be a pretty smart person, but you're not educated. So
that makes perfect sense.
Yep. So from there, I think you have it pretty hard down. I'm still needing to figure out what the world is. Oh, here's a good question. Now that your ship sunk and you're not really and you were a pirate, where are you now?
I decided to leave the sea behind because of the trauma from the ship sinking, and that's why I decided to come to Riftwind so I could go more adventure on land, because all my adventuring has been at sea. I want to explore the rest.
I see. So you are an adventurer at heart. That is the important thing, that you are an adventurer at heart.
Exactly.
All right. So this is actually really good because that gives you connection. Because, as I said, people can't just go to Riftwind. You're going to need some way to get into Riftwind in the first place. And it seems like our other character is a merchant who has access to Riftwind. So that's where I'm going to put your connection.
Ah, there you go.
Which I actually like even further, because that means Captain Gilbert, we can introduce by you seeking out Ren.
Okay, yeah.
So, with that, I think we are kind of done with a lot of your character. I'm trying.
I have a question.
Oh yeah, ask the question.
So, if he's seeking out Ren, would he actually be seeking out his false identity
Yeah,
then?
no, he'd be seeking out Cassius Eldlin, specifically. Has no idea who
Awesome.
Ren is. Fair enough.
I love that. I love that.
All right, I'm just gonna go really quick, confirm that I didn't miss any other halfling abilities. Let's see. Ooh, alright, missed one. Brave. Ooh, that's actually perfect. So, you have the ability called Brave, so you just have advantage on wisdom save. Like if someone tries to scare you, you have advantage on saving throws against it.
You're correct.
Against fear. And let's see, where is it? Anything specific for stealth? Oh, nimbleness. So also oh, how's it going, Kraken? So we're just doing this. So for halfling nimbleness, this also means this is just basically if you guys are in tight corridors and stuff, you can move through other people's spaces without issue. So if Ren ends up in front of you for some reason, you could just dive through his legs and get through to the other side.
Yeah.
Anyone who's larger than you, you can move through their space without issue.
Okay. That makes sense, being small.
Alright. So that's your abilities. I think we have everything then. I did kind of like position it in weird ways, so I put all the superiority dice stuff at the very top so that you would not forget it, and then also gave you your second wind. Alright, so I think your character is complete. Oof. Let me just confirm. Navigator's tools, water vehicles. I'm going to extend that your proficiency with water vehicles is going to extend to all vehicles. Because water vehicles are very rare, and like, you know what I mean. Like, Alright, Ren. Whew. So we start with a very obvious... There are two things that are lacking when I look at your character. The first is, so we've been doing point buy. The main reason I'm choosing point buy, I just want confirmation, or if, as Gur, you've played games before, if you would suggest rolling instead. But the main reason I chose point buy is so that all of the players generally have an even playing field when they start. No one's going to roll an 18 and be better than the guy who rolled 14s and 15s.
I dislike roll stats. I love point buy.
Alright, that's good to hear. I'm very glad that you like point buy. I was just about to move to shut my door, but then I realized they just shut theirs, so no sound with that issue. So yeah, so with point buy, you ready to hear something? You missed a point.
I thought I did because I had to go back through my character sheet and edit it like 3 different times because it wouldn't save. So I just kind of said screw it and I'll wait until we're in session to fix it.
Yep, that's perfect. Yeah, I think you're missing precisely 1 point. And in addition, I did say that everyone starts with a feat.
Yeah. So I love choosing or getting a choice at feats, but I kind of wanted to see what you would do if I let you pick one for me.
All right. So so let me look at. So you use flattery as your trick. You are fair. Let's see. You always believe you are better at fooling people than others. So my immediate thought of a feat for you would be actor.
Actor it is.
I'm trying to think. So I'm assuming, do you want more? You want more role play than combat for your feats?
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right. So actor is 1. We could extend into other flavor, like other themes, like secret themes that you might have, such as there's a bunch of psionic feats over in Tasha's Cauldron that we could like just randomly throw in as just like your surprise trick, but I think right now we can just justify emphasizing that which you are.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. Just want to make sure there aren't any that I missed. Skulker would be nicer if you were a thief archetype instead of an arcane trickster archetype. I love moderately armored, but that's for a very specific character or class. I noticed that you are very low, like you have a constitution score of 8. I'm assuming you're using ranged weapons,
Yeah.
or at least you are when you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I knew it was gonna be a bit risky playing with low constitution.
We will actually
especially
talk
with
about that because there's one additional rule I have not talked about yet. I have not posted it. But yeah, I think actor just helps you be the sort of character you're trying to be. So it does, like, you have a false identity. You could literally just keep your. So here's the thing: player, I suggest do not keep secrets. But character player, you can keep secrets as you want. So if you want to just have you use your secret identity for the entirety of just like Captain Gilbert never knows that your actual name's Ren, like, I'm down 100%.
It'll probably come up at some point.
Yeah.
It'll get dug up.
So the actor feat gives you, let's see. So I'm just going to put what so that I can understand it, and then you can you can change the writing as you wish. So it gives advantage on deception and performance for specifically for being someone else. And it also has, let's see, speech mimicry. I'm just going to put the word speech mimicry.
Yeah.
And it takes 1 minute of hearing, I believe. Yep. 1 minute hearing. Perfect. And then it also gives you +1 charisma, which we can use to modify the character sheet a bit more. So I noticed you just put dexterity, intelligence, and charisma very high up. Do you just want to max those out?
Yeah, essentially. I think what I was trying to do before with the missing point, when I was trying to edit it, I was trying to bring wisdom down to a base so I could bring constitution up. And
Alright.
since I'm missing, I would be missing 2 points at that.
Yep. So because actor gives a +1, we could actually have your starting charisma, instead of being 14, we bring it down to 13, because it gets 2 from half elf and 1 from actor. So then that gives you 2 point buys. So 2 additional point buys. So you could bring your constitution to 10 and your wisdom to 12.
That sounds perfect.
Ooh. Another good one could be Keen Mind, but that might be a thing of the future. Alright, there. So now your hit point maximum gets to be 8, and you get to have 8 health. Alright, so as you guys might guess, as I was saying at the beginning, this... Oh, wait, hold up. Let's make sure everything works for what you're doing. So you're a master con man. Specifically, as far as I can tell, you're selling snake oil over in Riftwind.
That's how I live, yeah.
Alright. So, with you being a master merchant and such, why do you currently have 0 gold? I just want lore.
I didn't set it to that. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to start with some, and I thought I did, but, yeah.
Oh, it just, messed up? Well, nonetheless, I would like, lore-wise, why is a master merchant, an obviously master merchant, what's the story behind why you have so little gold?
I would say that Ren, or Cassius, rather, might have been trying to gain some positive, what's the word I'm looking for? Renown.
Ooh.
Being able to donate what he has. And I think that put a big target on his back, because not only is he sort of a con man, but he's kind of he's sneaky. Like he likes to.
Of course, he's the sneakiest. That's his flaw.
He likes to sneak into places and change up ledgers and stuff for his benefit, that kind of stuff. So I would say he had been hit pretty hard recently by a rival who was capable of things.
Ooh.
Maybe someone who knows his actual identity, if you want to do something with that at some point.
Do we know that? Do they know their rival's name, or is it just someone else is coming for them?
I would say that Ren wouldn't know the rival's name, and this is something that's like recent, like fresh wound.
Ooh. So in a sense, their goal is they need protection soon.
Yeah. Or to eliminate the source.
All right. So this is great lore. It also has the issue of it's not set in any world, so we have to figure out which world in Riftwind you are. We can just legitimately throw you. You're part of Faerun, and Faerun's just we're just gonna say it's connected to Riftwind for now. I think there's no copyright issue there until I start adding. I'm not gonna add this to my book as a campaign, and just it's theme there. All right, so we have your character done then. So now we need to figure out lore, and we need to talk about some of the changes and stuff. Some of the additions I have. So first off, I actually kind of want to talk about my concept of the balance of things like mechanics and roleplay and all that stuff. So generally, in my mind, the 3 pillars of D&D, like most people see it as like combat roleplay exploration. I specifically see it as mechanics. What happens like mechanically? What can you do in the system? Roleplay of what can you do to make your character do more? How can you reward by giving more information? Things of that nature. And the third element is wide term the beer and pretzels element. Guys, I would not be having you here if I thought I couldn't just joke around and have fun with you guys. My DMing style is very much off the cuff. I'm figuring out as we go. And if you guys don't mock and make fun and laugh with me, then we're going to have some issues.
Okay.
So
I'm looking forward to chaos.
Yep. So if you guys want to just do, like, if you guys have just a funny joke, feel free to ruin the mood by making the joke. So do want to make sure that's through, because a lot of people always, here's how I say it. Most people look at D&D and they see, they see Critical Role, and they see these people that are very focused in their work. They have this perfect story, these perfect characters, and no. D&D is a bunch of people hanging out, eating food, having fun, and then there's this awesome game that's going on in between them.
I like that style.
What's up?
Oh, sorry, I like that style.
Yep. Good to hear, because I did not do any preparation, so that's our only way of doing this. Yeah, so there's a theme that I've been having issues with. I cannot take notes very well. Like, this looks all super amazing until you realize that some of the notes I have no words on them. DM did not prep, except I find myself incapable of prepping. I only do improv, and it's been like a year since I've done a good improv campaign. So when I was good at it, I was the best. I was extremely good, but whew. So I want to explain a few of the rules changes that are going to affect the world a bit. Gur, this really more affects you, and for T-Lore, this is going to explain the rules to you. So the first is, you might notice in your character sheet, there's this little dragon-looking circle symbol that is known that says inspiration. So the inspiration in my campaigns allow you to basically say, all right, I'm going to use my inspiration. Here's what happens. And then just for a short period of time, you basically control the story to like be more of, oh, you're the scary, threatening pirate. I'm going to use my intimidation to help to make them back off. Allow me to use my inspiration to just force it to be true, sort of thing. I have a whole little listing here, but basically, inspiration, instead of being advantage on a roll, it's you specifically gain control of a situation for a bit. I can decline. I can say, like, okay, that's too much. You can't just intimidate the dragon into giving you all of its gold. You're not that threatening, but it does, generally the idea of the inspiration is I want this thing to happen. Instead of trying to roll for it, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to use my inspiration and the fact that I am this kind of person anyways to make it happen.
Got it. So it's like a domain expansion from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, that's actually a perfect example. It's your one use of a domain expansion. You get one. So my idea is it's every quest, but I'm treating the session 0 as its own individual quest. All right.
Makes sense.
Another one that I think is pretty important is the elements of healing in this game. So, you might notice some of your abilities, T-Lore, they note that they recover on a short rest.
Okay.
So, a short rest is basically any time your characters would go to sleep. It is an 8-hour session of not doing anything in particular. If you guys go to sleep, that's when you guys have a short rest. During that time, you can also spend that one hit dice to gain your health back, but then you lose that hit dice. You can also spend that hit dice between combat as you just like take 10 minutes to break. But if you do, you have to roll the dice, and if you roll low, well, I guess you're not gaining as much health. There's also something called a long rest, which is basically, okay, well, we have a week to prep for this adventure. So during that week, you guys are effectively taking a long rest. Long rest is you heal from anything that could be healed from time. So you gain all of your health back. You gain all your resources back. If you're a spellcaster, you gain all your spells and have time to prepare new ones. So if you ever heard the terms short rest and long rest, that is what I'm referring to. This is technically a variant rule called gritty realism, but really what it is it's preventing you from having infinite resources, because that's kind of the issue of 5th edition sometimes. So that's just generally how healing works. And now I'm going to get into the mechanic that I didn't tell, that Grenade doesn't know about, that I'm getting into. So as you can guess, Riftwind is a very magical place. So, in addition, I kind of dislike how in combat, a lot of times it's you either win the combat or the party dies as a TPK sort of thing. Like, there's very little middle ground. So the way I solve that, usually use Resurrection. So my idea, so in Riftwind, Resurrection is very much purchasable in Riftwind. Once you guys become Riftwind Explorers, you will actually have a tab. If someone dies, they can resurrect you and just put the money on your tab. So the idea is, if a character dies, that is definitely a penalty. It's a loss, but it's not the end of the campaign. If the party gets wiped out because they went on something too aggressively, it's definitely bad for you, but it's not over. Now, what you might hear that and be like, oh, okay, so we just do what we want. Guys, because of that, I am more than happy to throw dangerous threats at your face. If you guys want to be stupid enough to go charge the dragon at level 1, sure, go charge the dragon. I'm okay putting you guys 5,000 gold in debt. That's your decision.
And it's a good thing Cassius spent all of his gold.
Cassius doesn't like that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you properly, Grenade.
Cassius doesn't like that.
So, generally speaking, there is the idea that the goal that I am going to put you guys in danger quite consistently, because if you fail, it's not the end of everything. I do want to get you into that thought process that even though I'm putting you in danger, you could still have fun and chill, because even if you die, this isn't the end. It's definitely bad if you die, but my hope is that it's a balance of being fun and tense at the same time, without too extreme on the intensity and without too lack of threats for that. Also, if you guys ever do feel like you want to retire a character, you let me know and we can retire your character can actually retire. Don't if you know what I mean, your characters don't just naturally die off in this campaign.
Makes sense.
Alright. There are some other rules that don't really affect you. So one of the things is, as I was saying, I was trying to get used to I was trying to get things in line with my other system. And one of the things with that system is that spells are stronger than in 5th edition, but it takes time for them to cast it, which gives you guys time to beat out the spell, to find a way to counter it in ways that don't just involve magic. So counterspell as a spell itself does not exist, but if you know what you're doing, which one of the two here happens to have proficiency in Arcana, you guys can actually find ways just using the random items in your inventory to just counter a spell within the 6 seconds it takes between them starting the cast and actually finishing the cast. So, and because of that, like spells are more versatile, but they're also more manipulatable. You can actually just take, for example, if a person's casting Fireball, you guys could just charge him and just beat him up and just knock him out before he even finishes the casting. That's just one of the most obvious solutions that I'm sure Captain Gilbert has had to use many times. You see a man making weird incantations at fire starts coming out of his arms, shoot him in the face. Like,
I'm gonna throw a stale muffin at his head.
exactly. And there's more precise things that you could do than just knocking them out. But I'm going to wait until you guys see the spells, because Ren's probably seen a few. But I don't know how many of that I want to spoil. Oh, actually, here's a good example. Ren may have had a case where someone tried to cast fire on them, so they took their water skin and splashed water over the fire as it was still being cast.
That's actually what I was like. Do I have a bucket in my inventory?
You have a water skin.
Oh, all right.
So there are ways to counter spells as they're getting cast. Generally what I would do is I would explain how the spell works, and the higher your Arcana skill, the more detail I could explain into the inner workings. And then it's up to you guys to come up with, hey, wait, if I use this and this and this, could I possibly stop the spell from getting cast? And either it will, or I'll at the very least give you advantage on the save or something like that. So, whew, I think that's most of the story beats done. For some reason, I felt like this was going to take a lot longer.
It always feels like that.
Yep.
At the beginning.
All right, so let's see if we can get to the campaign kind of chugging on the road. So, Ren, your false identity. Cassius Eldlin. What are you a mercantile of?
I would trade, like, generally needed goods, like anything from, I wouldn't say like food and stuff like that, but like textiles and other basic things. Just something to be able to move simple goods to other places for people to buy them where they can't get them. That kind of thing.
All right. So just to be clear, these are actual goods. You're not the charlatan snake oil salesman. You're actually like, these are proper goods.
Yes, but they're not always my rightful goods.
Okay, that's where the charlatan comes from. All right. Whew.
Been times where he's just straight up spoke with his silver tongue and got some goods for cheap or even for free, and there's other times where he's had to sneak into warehouses and convince guards that they can go off duty, or that he's a man of higher power who's supposed to be here and take goods for movement.
So, all right. So I do like giving your guys' backgrounds more power. So, for example, T-Lore, you have Captain Gilbert's background is the pirates, so they have that ability, Pirate's Reputation. That reputation, I want to be clear, I see it as more of, if you know much about the dragon's Frightful Presence ability, it's basically a lesser form of a Frightful Presence. At any time, you can just declare to me that you're using your pirate's reputation, and the general populace will back away and not want to get involved with whatever it is you're about to do.
Love it.
So you have intimidation as just like a backup tool. Whew.
I'll definitely be using that.
So you said this random loss of coins. How did they get to your gold? Did they just you came back and your cart was gone? Is there like a banking process that you have that?
I would say that Ren/Cassius does not trust banking at all, and he knows like a lot of corruption behind banking. So, Ren, I guess, would have come or had spent money on some on goods or something to turn a quick profit, and either those were stolen from him or he got gypped in some way. Whatever fits better, I guess.
Oof. Just trying to think. Trying to think of how to do this properly. Because I do want to make sure Cassius is a person of good renown, correct?
Yeah.
But By the way, since you specifically have with your false identity that you do bribe people in the nature, I will tell you that the guards of Riftwind, when it comes to the magical laws that they don't fully understand, there is no wavering on that. But when it comes to like inspections and stuff like that, they're pretty open to bribes, though they're quite expensive. So
Right, that makes sense.
you would know that by now. There are enough merchants that if you bribe them, like you're competing with other merchants of how much the bribe costs. But, whew. That would actually. I have a good idea for what happened. You probably actually sold like necessary goods and thought you acquired necessary goods from someone, and when you sold them, like people were getting food poisoning and things of that nature. So there's starting to be, with this rival, suddenly a poor reputation is starting to take hold. It's not much. It only happened once so far, but you're a little low on cash. You know that this was not. These were supposed to be good food. Someone got involved.
Okay, I like that.
It's always the tampering.
I'm trying to think of the game. So, how does this involve Captain Gilbert? Sorry, I just need some time to think.
Well, food poisoning wouldn't even.
I was just about to say, Captain Gilbert could be one of the victims. Though then again, Gilbert has advantage on poison checks, so I think Gilbert would be one of the people that was supposed to be the victims.
Yeah.
All right. So first, I need to try to think of how does one enter Riftwind? How does one leave? So you're all right if I make up the world that you guys live in the moment, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm trying to like parse through the worlds I have and which one would be best to fit you in. So there has to be enough water for piracy and those sort of natures to occur. All right. So I'm sorry, it's been a very long time since I had to improv like this. I know I can do it, I just suddenly with all the cameras, it's all the pressure kicking in.
Yeah.
This is when my friends start making fun of me, and then when they're done making fun of me, I have it ready. All right. You're in the town of Ardentfall. It's a fall day. Just leaves are coming down. This is a place that gets very snowy, very cold in the winters. It's not if you know how Russia is with the sea, it has a port but freezes over at times. That is the kind of town that this is. So, Captain Gilbert, this is near to the land, but given that this is near to the sea, but given the destruction, this is not generally seen as a port. That being said, this place is only a few cities away from one of the entrances to Riftwind. Riftwind often has a teleportation circle somewhere in any major city. This is one of the port towns a bit further from the major city. The goods that Ren acquired were things that have long time. They last for extended periods of time. You know, tack, grains that don't rot. They don't spoil. So therefore, going into places that need it, that are further away, made more sense. You thought you would sell the goods here so that people would be ready for winter, and then you'd get the heck out before winter comes. Given the low cash you acquired, given some of it seeming poisoned, and therefore reputation got around, you did not sell the back half of it. If you'd like, you can add up to 20 pounds of rotten food to your inventory, but so your reason you're low on gold is because that was supposed to be wealth is currently just rotting in your inventory.
Oh, good. An extra 20 pounds of disappointment.
Just like my stomach. Anyway. So, as for Captain Gilbert, this was where you washed up on shore. Perhaps it was because of the ice that the thing did not chase you down into this area. You don't know much about krakens other than they're big, scary abominations of the sea. You've never seen anything like that. You've spent your time coping here. You know it's going to get harsh. You know you need to do something. You have a lot of cash. Obviously, you were a captain of a pirate ship, but you're starting to run low. And the jobs here are like farming. Who the heck wants to spend their life? Well, even they don't have farms. It's just not the place to be. Especially in winter, there's not going to be much left. This is the people that hunker down, do their things. They're part of it is a very well tight-knit community, but it's not your community.
Makes sense. I don't want to be here.
You heard from one of the people you were staying at. You were spending nights at a local inn, and you heard from one of them that a merchant recently was selling poor food. You, of course, picked up on the word merchant, someone who enters and then leaves. You have no more place here for much longer. This is where roleplay starts kicking in.
So I want to go to Cassius, so I can get out of here.
All right.
I hate this place.
Cassius, where would you be with? Are you still trying to sell the goods? Are you still trying to,
I'm probably discarding the rest at this moment.
Cassius, I'm hungry. Please.
No, don't have any of this. It's brought me enough bad fortune already.
So, dear Cassius, quite tall, very well dressed, but quite thin, lean, half elf, a person of kind of high stature, sees a shortened fellow with a look in their eye that could shoot down a tank from a distance. And you two have not met each other before. You just know that this short person has come to you as you're just taking care of your trash, and seems to have the look of more determination than you've seen in this entire town combined.
Do I feel intimidated just by looking?
That's Captain. That's Gilbert's decision.
Well, Gilbert's gonna walk up because Gilbert is mad at being stuck in this town, and he's gonna look up at this elf who's like twice as tall and try and stare him down because he's hungry and he's upset.
A staring contest initiates.
All right. Staring specifically. You may make either a Constitution save to keep your eyes open or an Intimidation check to push the other down. Each of you roll off.
Okay.
All right, how do I do this?
Go to your character sheet.
Yeah.
Do you want to use Constitution or Intimidation?
Oh, intimidation. 100%.
All right. So you just go to the Intimidation and you just click it.
All right, let me find intimidation.
It's alphabetical order, by the way.
Ah, yeah, I got it.
For the sake of...
You are a halfling, so you get to re-roll that natural one. Dear God, it already kicked in.
What is
wow.
going on? All right, let me re-roll.
Beautiful.
It's not much better, but it's there. I was gonna say for the sake of
You can use your
since,
superiority dice to use commanding presence. It does only add a d6 to it, though.
It could be better than nothing, but that's limited.
I don't know if I want to use my limited
Fair
staring at
enough.
a weird elf.
Fair enough.
So.
All right.
For the sake of roleplay, I think I'm just gonna do a save because I don't find my character to be all that intimidating as of right now.
All right.
So we'll just do a Constitution saving.
All right. Well, as you're staring this down, he definitely has a scary look, but the way that they look at your food, you're starting to wonder if they're malnourished, or maybe something some of the fall leaves are going to their eyes. They seem like they could be threatening, but then just things are like dirt gets kicked out of their eye. They blink and wince, but you can tell there's strength behind it, but they're not holding on to it very well. Not right now. Obviously, they don't fill in This is not their place of authority here.
Can I can I help you?
I'm hungry. I'm
You're not gonna want any of this.
I'm a shadow of my former self. I don't care. I'll eat it.
I, all right, go ahead, have some, I guess.
How much can I have?
You want a full meal?
Absolutely. I
All
haven't had a
right.
full meal
Make a
in
Constitution
weeks.
save. You have advantage because you have advantage against poison.
Alright, so that would just be clicking in Constitution.
So
right?
before you do, at the very top where it says normal, advantage, disadvantage, click advantage.
Got
Now
it.
you roll. Now you hit the Constitution button. Let's see if you roll better than a 2. Beautiful. Wait. Why is it only +2? Constitution should be a +4 for you. Oh, you hit Constitution, not Constitution save.
Oh, my bad.
So there's Constitution to the left, and to the right, there's those saving throws right there. That's why I was
Yeah,
meaning
my
for you
bad.
to click.
There we go.
All right. My gosh. I guess the fact that I'm here is causing these saving throws to go pretty far south. But nonetheless, that is enough. You managed to hold down your food. You do realize you just ate some... Okay, actually, hold up. You eat, you drink alcohol, you are a pirate, you notice as you're eating it that this food isn't spoiled, because you've had spoiled food at times. You eat the rough stuff. This stuff seems like it was actively poisoned.
Yeah, there's something up with this food.
Yeah, I know,
You have
it's
anything to do with this?
No, I bought these goods and I was gonna sell them to the people here, but they're bad. They're spoiled.
You could have said that before I scarfed it down.
I told you they were bad, didn't I? I think I
I
did.
mean, I'm hungry. I don't care.
Then why is this an issue?
I don't know. I'm just upset. I want to leave.
Me too. I actually need to lay low for a while. The people aren't gonna be too happy with me around here.
What do you want to do? We both want out of here.
By the way,
I
this poison, you've actually faced it before. So Sawagwins. I mispronounced, I'm sure, but there are creatures of the sea that you've had to fight at times that will tip their spears in the very poison that this was poisoned with. Sometimes people nearby seaports can purchase this from this. Like they actually purchase it from Sawagwins, and sometimes pirates who survive attacks will sell it themselves after capturing and defeating them. So, whoever poisoned this food lives near the port cities.
I never caught your name, by the way, merchant man, elf merchant. What is your name?
you can call me Cassius Edwin. And what would be your name?
My name is Captain Gilbert. Don't forget the
Gil-
captain.
Where's your crew?
I don't want to talk about it. They're not here right now.
Oh, well, I hope they're well.
I hope so too.
Oof. So, with that, the path towards Riftwind is further inland, but there is a city by the shore that Cassius has gone to probably recently as they were moving around. That is by the seashore. If you guys want to check there instead, because, well, Gilbert, you never told him that where the poison would be from, correct?
I have not. No.
All right, then I see no reason why Cassius would want to go back to where they bought the food. So,
Yeah.
oof. So it's
So
about
how did you eat that without getting sick?
What'd you say?
How did you eat that without getting sick?
I have a tough stomach. I've eaten many things that you wouldn't want to know. Sea life is hard sometimes.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. I don't want to
You
know.
really don't.
oof. So, if you travel now, I believe it will be a 3-day journey. There is one stop at a town along the way to get to the port towards Riftwind. That being said, when you get to Riftwind, it is quite expensive to actually go there. Currently, so the way I would say is since you guys do not have access yet, you will need 100 gold, meaning somehow along this path to Riftwind, you are going to have to earn some money.
Cassius, you're a merchant, right? You've got money.
I had money. This shipment, I was really banking on it for a quick turnaround on money. So I'm actually kind of flat broke.
I was face down on the beach, staying in some random old lady's house, and I have more money in my pockets than a merchant who's been selling every day. You sound like a horrible
Hey,
merchant.
easy on me. I'm down on my luck right now. No need for this third degree.
Well, you're a merchant though, so how do you think we should make some money?
Well, I would have to go back to Riftwind if I wanted to make some serious money, but I don't see that being feasible right now.
Do you know anybody around here who has you can get some products for cheap from?
I doubt that I would be able to make any sizable profit in here or around here. That wouldn't take a very long time for us to, or for me to be able to get back to Riftwind with it. And I'm not looking to stay here for even this night.
Well, we could head towards Riftwind, make a stop along the way, try and make some money there, because this place is a ghost town. I hate it here.
Oof. It is very much a small town. Most of the people here are like field workers that during the winter find other things because the crops don't grow during the winter. It's approaching.
You seem pretty set on getting out of this place, particularly with me.
I never said I liked you.
Well, I didn't say that either. But I think you look like you've. I mean, you're a captain. You look like you've seen a battle or two at least. I'm sure with our capabilities, at least what's on the surface, should be able to get us to where we're going and possibly even help us get a little more value in our pockets, depending on what happens, because these lands aren't exactly uneventful.
I agree. I haven't had great experience with your kind before, but I'm willing to settle just this once and get out of here.
All right. So you threw it all away. You guys have enough. You have enough food for today at the very least. As you guys head on away. So I'm just like using a mental map of Russia. So you'd be on the west side, and you're heading eastward. Which, oh my god, it's just before you hit Siberia is where the portal is, I guess. Gosh. All right. So eastward we go. This is very cold even in the fall. There has not. Okay, it's not. I need to mentally think this through before I just contradict myself. I'm sure I've already contradicted myself. Whew. As you move eastward, there are. How do you guys travel, by the way? So, are you guys just traveling just by foot? Even like as a merchant, do you just keep it all on your person?
I suppose maybe I had carts or hired some people to bring it here, but I can't really continue to pay them now. So if that were the case, so yeah, I guess on foot.
I will state that you guys still have a cart that you can easily just carry, with one man. Like it's be a very small cart, but you do have a cart to like carry things if you need to. All right.
I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt to bring the cart then.
All right.
Yeah, I suppose I'll be on the first shift of carrying the cart, pulling it behind me.
Be a very long shift.
Do I not have? So I'm just looking through all the tokens that I downloaded for like different encounters and stuff, and I don't have even what I'm looking for, and it's just such a simple picture. So, all right. So, as you travel down this cold winter road, it's not long before. I'm sorry. It's been so long. Definitely shows that I need to do this more often.
Time and create what you want to make without, you don't want to stumble over stuff and make mistakes and all that.
Oof. So, let's see. So we have half elves, we have halflings. What sort of city did you just live? I'm assuming, let's say, yeah, small folk. This is more. This is like literally. This is kind of the small folk area of the world in your mind, Ren. This is where the people that eat heartily live low to the ground, like in more ways than one. Um, they're not. They're not all halfling sized like Gilbert, but seeing a person who's 6 feet tall is quite a rare sight in these areas. Whew. As you guys are traveling, you're starting. It does take 2 days to get there. So as you guys are setting up a camp to sleep on the side of the road, something that Ren has had to do a few times. Gilbert, I think you're starting to learn to just by getting sick and tired of this area. You do notice, as you're like setting up camp, you set up the fire. What is everyone's passive perceptions? Let's see. Ren is 13, and Gilbert is also 13. All right. Let me just make a quick GM roll. This is plus... All right. Perfect. So you see a group of 4 others, like from a distance, away from the road, start approaching where you two have set up a campfire.
We both see this at the same time, then.
Yeah, you both have the same passive perception. So you see them coming off. So I have from a. Let's see. At this point, they're probably about 100 feet away. You could see the movements, but even though Gilbert, even with your or Ren with your dark vision, they're still not in sight just yet.
Okay. But am I able to, well, I guess I have to wait for them to come within my range of vision then to be able to further perceive them.
Yeah. You do know something's approaching, though.
Okay. Hey, Captain, you see that, right?
I see it. I don't know what it is, but I'm not scared. And
By
I
the
back
way,
down from the challenge.
All right.
By the way,
sit
Gilbert,
next
you
to
do
you.
not have dark vision, so you will be kind of dependent on the light of the torch. There is no... Do I not have just like a fire picture?
Something
There we
just
go.
feels off.
Close enough. Let me move the layer. So first let's move this here. Move this to the token layer. So there's your fire, guys.
Is there anywhere around me that I could possibly sort of stealth it out a bit?
Yeah, so this is...
Hide.
While there isn't very tall grass, there are some hills. It is dark enough that if you just get some distance, they might not be able to see you.
I just want to try whatever I can. Actually, Captain, I don't know what's coming, and you're pretty brave, so if, I think I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna point to a very nice spot where I might not be seen by the oncoming whatever.
You
And
can
if
move your
things get
character
hairy-
tokens. I'm gonna... This combat, while I do go with Theater of the Mind, this combat, we can use this character sheet stuff. So you can move your character tokens to where you're going.
Okay. I'm gonna. So if things get hairy when they approach, I can kind of try and nab them from behind while you have them at the front.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand my ground in front of the fire.
Okay. I like the way you handle yourself.
Do you want me to drag you guys further down so you have more space above you to place your token?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
I can do it myself. So, grab and launch you guys way back there so you guys have more space behind you.
Okay.
Oh, they're right next to us.
Oh,
I
I
can
just
see them.
realized that's map and background layer. I thought they were on GM layer, so they were invisible to you. That's in the map and background layer. So they're 100 feet away. Oh my gosh.
I can suddenly see.
I can suddenly see them.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I guess find a good place to hide and stealth myself.
So you're going to need to be at least 30 feet away from the fire, minimum.
Boom, like that, and maybe a little bit on here if that's okay.
That's still within 30 feet.
You said at least 30 feet.
Fair
Hold on.
enough. You can stealth, but I will
Boom.
note because you are you approach them to an extent that you will have disadvantage on your stealth check.
Okay, that makes sense. Let me get my sheet out.
All right.
Disadvantage and stealth. Wow, that could not. That's
There it is.
extremely lucky.
Well done. So, what you do is you realize, as it's still quite cold, you realize your skin is quite pale. You just simply lie down on the floor and blend in with the ground itself with your just the white cold. You know that in the darkness they really cannot tell the difference as they just from the rocks. As the others approach within range of the fire. I'm just using goblin tokens, but these are actually like humanoid, or more humanoid, more human-esque. Each of them has a small blade, on on their side, but not much more. They're pretty ragged in their clothing. Oi, I see you got. I thought we saw a merchant around. Is that a cart behind you, over by that fireplace?
You better back off.
Hey, well, it's gonna be a cold winter, and we gotta get food somehow, lads. How about we don't make this get any worse? You mind giving me? We're gonna take what's in that cart. Nothing worse happens. It's just one of you. There's 4 of us.
I
Takes a
don't care
step
how many
forward.
of you there are. I said back off.
The intensity.
They all kind of look at each other for a bit, like, well, we're really sorry we had to do this, sir. As they start drawing their blades. All right, initiative. So, the way that this is one of the things that I want to see how this works. It might not pan out very well, but if you saw my rules for the combat readying phase, during the readying phase is where you guys choose where you change or like where you cast a spell or something like that. And if you do nothing, if you're not doing anything special in the ready phase, you can re-roll your initiative to get a better place in the turn order. One of my ideas was that everyone starts at initiative 0, so you have to have a turn where you're actually readying to fight to get an initiative above 0. Given that you guys knew this fight was coming, you guys do have your weapons prepared. So when we start initiative, you guys can roll initiative basically.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say they can too, though. So I'm going to just add.
We're good.
Me A. Copy. Enemy B. So with that, so I just realized this is your first time starting an encounter, T-Lore. So over on the top of your character sheet, there should be a little thing called initiative. And I want you to just hit the initiative button itself. Meanwhile, I'm going to roll the 4 initiatives for the bandits. Always say that. So that's not initiative 46. That's just all 4 of my rolls being done on a single sheet.
About to say. Jesus.
Yeah, no. Initiative of 46. They have alert and then some. I think that's 46. I'm pretty sure is physically impossible given the current game rules. Maybe if you guys want to roll initiative, we could start the fight. Captain Gilbert, I'm assuming you have your sword, but I'm assuming given their range, the gun's not being pulled out just yet.
Exactly.
Okay. Ren, I'm assuming you have whatever inventory, whether it be a short bow or whatever sort of item you have.
I'm actually going to use my dagger here.
All right, dagger it is. And yes, you are hidden, so the first attack will be having advantage. But first, we need to roll initiative. Oh,
I
there it
guess I have
is.
to
I'm
click on
sorry, I
that
never
first.
saw the initiative. My apologies. My apologies.
Oh, yeah, it's above.
All right, that was my fault,
So
not yours.
if we spend the rating phase to roll initiative a second time, is it like advantage, or is it if it's lower you have to take it?
Oh, so the idea is if it's lower, that's like you stumbled. I might give you advantage when you roll it, but like I have to still figure that out. To be clear, I still am figuring that out. Generally speaking, for now it's going to be you just re-roll it, so you don't have to re-roll initiative. It's an option you have, but it's up to you could do in the future initiatives. So it looks like,
Alright.
with everyone rolling initiative and the fight beginning, enemy C starts off. Seeing this person draw their swords, we just gotta take them out. Moves forward towards you, Captain Gilbert, and swings their short sword. It's not short, but yeah, their short blade at you. I really need to just make this a... Alright, well, I'm thinking that's gonna hit. So, what I could do, Gilbert, is I'm going to roll the damage, and then if you'd like, you could spend your superiority dice to deflect, to use your parry and reduce the damage.
That is exactly what I was going to say, actually. If I
Yep.
could use the parry.
So yeah, you get to see how much damage it does first. It does 5 damage, so now you can use the parry if you'd like.
I would like to.
All right, so go ahead and roll. It's a d6 plus 3.
All right, so slash R. So just 1d6 plus 3.
Yep. So you resist 6 damage. So it does not go into negatives, but as they swing their sword at you, you just take your sword and smack it away from you. They got close, but not close enough. So I'm going to just mark you went from 2 superior dice to 1 superiority dice, but you stopped the attack. All right. Then the enemy on the other side comes over, flanking, but you've dealt with worse weather than just a person with a sword on their side. I'm just going to roll the dice and add the modifiers afterwards. But they obviously are not used to that. As you parry the blade, you throw it kind of past you and use it to just block the attack of the other person, allowing you to avoid that attack as well very easily.
Suave.
All right, Ren. As you see a person who just took on 4 people and is now just parrying as they're in between people, you feel as if you chose a good person to go with you.
I'm glad I fed you my poison food. I mean, my off food.
All right, but it is your turn, Ren.
I have a question. Would I be able to use my short sword instead, or did I seal my fate?
You sealed your fate. The readying action is it takes my rule is basically you declare your equipment at the readying phase, and if you have to switch your equipment, it's a full action to like pick up an item or something like that.
All right, yeah. Then dagger it is. I have a movement speed of 30, and I think that'll allow me to just get to one of these fellows on the back. Yeah, the bottom.
Yep. So you can't get to that one way over there, but you can get to either of these guys. All right. As they're like all getting ready to circle this guy, when suddenly, from out of nowhere, a person flies out with a dagger in hand. Oof. You will make your attack with advantage because they did not see you coming. Is my thing just like not loading properly? Or have you not made your attack yet?
I do not see it either.
Okay.
Did we lose Cassius? No.
Grenade, are you there?
Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. I think I was losing connection.
All right.
So I have like, what do I have right here?
All right. So want me to show you how you do this since this is your first time using Roll20 specifically?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So at the very top, between normal, advantage, and disadvantage, you have advantage, so click the advantage.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Then down, before you see the global damage modifiers. This means you're getting sneak attack, so make sure to check the box for sneak attack over on the left.
Oh, I checked off
Yep.
True Strike.
And then you make your dagger attack, and everything should be modified with it.
Oh, that's awesome. Here,
So,
let's... Dagger.
so rolled an 18. It only dealt 2 sneak attack damage, but was 7 on the base. So that's
Yeah.
9 points of damage chunked into this guy. This is the enemy D. Yeah. I'm just gonna put that there. They, as the blade is in there, they're that obviously greatly wounded them, but they're still standing. It's like like they realize we've been ambushed. As I'm assuming your turn's over because you moved and attacked.
Yeah.
All right, so it's the enemy that you just attacked swings right back at you. I'm just gonna roll the d20 and add the modifiers later, but the wound is great enough you just push deeper as they try to swing, and it just messes with them. They can't make a blade. They can't use the blade with enough force to actually hurt you. They're very grievously injured. Captain Gilbert,
Yes.
you're facing 2. It seems like your dear Cassius is facing 2.
There's a move I'd like to do. How do you do the thing with the pink arrow that happened earlier?
So you see the ruler. So at the top left, there's a select move, and you keep scrolling down. There's a circle with like a jagged line. That's a ruler.
Got it.
Your arrow should be blue.
Okay. What I would like to do is ideally because let me pull up the character sheet real quick. The nimbleness. Can I only go through one character space?
So you can actually go through if you want, but I will warn you, because you have these 2 guys right next to you, if you try to move through, they'll both get a free attack against you, because you're engaged in combat with them. If you leave their space, you either need to disengage as an action, or just take them out first.
Okay, I will not be doing that then. I would like to use my expertise, and I ideally want to make these guys headbutt each other.
All right. So let's see. Headbutting. So the way that headbutting them would work is that you would grapple one and kind of use them as a weapon against the other.
Exactly.
That will take you 2 turns. One turn to grapple and another turn to like throw it at the other. So I will warn you that if you would rather just swing at them with your sword.
If it's 2 turns, I'll take a swing with my sword.
Yep. All right. So make sure to switch yourself back to normal. You don't have advantage right now.
Yep, so normal. And I'll attack the enemy on the right of me.
All right. Swing.
So normal, and then that.
Yeah, that's going to hit for 11 max damage. And that is actually just enough as you puncture apart, as you know how to injure a person. You've had many fights before. This is no different. You go for the chest, you strike true, and you drop them with one single strike.
Don't mess with Gilbert.
Yep.
Good
They
motto.
are down. And we can remove enemy C from initiative. All right. Then we have enemy B, who is this last one here, who seeing that their friend was ambushed. You know what? These aren't too smart. I'm going to actually have them go help their friend with that monster there, which does give you an opportunity attack, Ren.
Okay, cool. So, I have to take off my sneak attack modifier for that, right? Since
Yep,
it's no
just
longer-
unclick that check mark and move from advantage to normal, and then swing.
All right, and swing.
All right. Unfortunately, an 8 does not. You managed to throw your blade out, but your blade was still stuck in the other person's chest when you first swung, meaning you did not have enough reach. Ugh.
Yeah.
It is now enemy B comes in swinging at dear Gilbert. Oof. And Gilbert just barely manages to get through your armor. Oof. Very close. In case you're wondering, ties always go to the roller, and they have a bonus. That was just the base D20. So that is going to hit for 6 damage unless you want to parry it.
Well, let's see. Let's see the situation. Well, considering what's going to be going on after this, I will go ahead and use my other superiority dice to parry.
All right.
Oops.
I could probably make a macro for you later so that we can do this really quickly.
Oh, that's the wrong
That's okay. It's just a /R d6 plus 3.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Okay. 1d6 plus 3.
All right. 5 of the damage is reduced. So as you see the blade coming, you push it aside once more, and the blade slightly grazes your arm, but you're still all right. You take 1 point of damage, bringing your 12 to 11. Whew. With that closing phase, no one surrenders. This guy is dying away. They can't really do anything about that because they're still panicking trying to stop you in the first place. Readying phase, any equipment switching or anything of that nature you guys plan to do?
Yes, short sword time.
All right. So Ren switches from their dagger to a short sword. Do you wish to wield both?
Well, would I be able to attack with both?
Bonus action, 2-weapon fighting. You definitely deal much less damage, but with the second attack. But
I mean, no, I'm just gonna stick with the short sword. I don't think
Alright.
Ren,
Keep your hand free.
Roleplay wise, is very versed with using both his hands at the same time, other than when shooting a bow.
All right. Oof. Captain Gilbert.
I'm gonna stick with the sword.
All right. Given that you made no changes, Captain Gilbert, would you like to re-roll initiative?
I would.
All right. Congratulations, Captain Gilbert. It just became worse. Fortunately, ties go to rollers, so you're not actually behind enemy B. Initiative has not changed.
All right.
All right. So again, the enemy to your left is going to throw another swing, knowing that they have to take you out. This is going to out of hand. They need to take you down. Oof. And again, swings just barely through your armor. For max 7 damage to you. Oof. And you're out of the superiority dice, so
I am.
that brings you all the way down to 4 health. You showed quite the prowess, but you're starting to get exhausted. That blade actually took a good strike. You've survived worse, but that doesn't mean you enjoy surviving through these sort of encounters. Oof. Ren.
Okay, so if I move to that tile between the two enemies there, he doesn't get advantage. It's when I move away from him, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
out of
when you
his-
move away. So as long as you stay within 5 feet, you're good.
Yeah. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shift over to in between right here, and I have to help. I gotta ignore this guy. I gotta help the captain.
All right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and go for the guy that's north of me.
All right. Go ahead. Ooh, rolled. Almost got a crit with that.
Almost a crit.
All right. Once again, you stab the blade. Apparently, you have become quite experienced at making people feel pain and give in. But you are not. But unlike the captain, you are not experienced at taking them out in a single strike. Ugh. Both of these two are quite well injured, but they haven't gone down just yet. Is that your turn?
Yes.
All right. So then the one that you injured in the first place, wanting to get their last retribution, throws their blade. Don't hurt my friends! And strikes you quite hard. I'm rolling a bit better than I expected to, as they take a good strike at you as well for 4 points of damage, halving your health.
Yep.
Oof. Captain? Surprisingly,
Wow.
this encounter is looking dire.
We are
The enemies that are left of me goes after me, correct?
Yep. The two below you are very injured as well.
Okay. Ooh.
But yeah, this enemy right here is going next.
Okay. Question is, do I want to attack the one below me or the one left of me?
So this one is injured, this one is not, just in case that matters at all.
Okay. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to attack the enemy on the left and hope that I can take him out. Because if I attack the one on the bottom, he's going to attack me on the next turn anyways.
All right.
So I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, so that would be just that.
Oh my gosh. Your blade, as their blade finally catches and stops just before you barely miss your strike.
Boy.
Their armor
Not
managed
looking
to
good.
block it. As it is now this enemy's turn. Seeing the blade in their back, they decide to turn their attention back towards Uger, or Cassius, and swings their blade back around. Oh, not what I meant to do. And rolls true. Pray I roll low.
Moment of truth.
I rolled
Oh.
low.
Half the health again, but that's good.
Yep.
They're alive.
Having your health, I mean, if they infinitely half your health, they'll never actually take you out.
Yeah.
I mean, they can be that precise with their dead.
Alright. Closing phase has occurred. This is the moment if anyone wants to negotiate terms of surrender.
Boy. I have an
Listen,
idea. I have an idea.
Okay.
So, do we still have that rotten food?
No, you threw it out or ate it.
Yeah, it was dumped and you ate a bunch of it.
But do we have scraps? Because they're looking for scraps, right?
Hold up. Let me see. Captain Gilbert. If I'm correct. Make, you know, I'm just gonna have you, if you would, make a wisdom check, just flat wisdom, as to whether you'd be wise enough to have chosen to keep the scraps with you, so you might have a few yourself. That's good enough. You do have a few scraps, like maybe 1 or 2 meals, but
The plan I came up with is the only reason they're attacking us is because they want this food that we have in the cart. So why don't we just give them the rotten food and let them be poisoned?
I thought of that before we started fighting them, but I'm not sure how happy they're going to be since you absolutely clobbered one of their friends, and I don't know if they're going to be so forgiving.
I will
That's
state
very
during the
true.
closing phase, it's still technically dying off. I would say with that wisdom, you could also kind of know that they might be willing to negotiate on the grounds that they have the opportunity to save their friend if they do.
I mean, I'm fine with them saving their friends if they get poisoned by the food.
If we can manage the negotiation, I mean, we might as well go for it because this is a pretty dire situation.
Alright,
I had an idea of how we could take out these bottom two, but I don't want to chance either of us dying. So
Yeah. It's our first encounter. Let's not die.
All right. So I want to hear the negotiation. How you're in this sordid fight. They look injured. There's fear in their side. They did not expect you to go this far. You did not expect them to be this strong. Roleplay the
why are you
situation.
attacking us? Why are you attacking my friend?
Look, man. These are desperate times. We just need the sources. We need the money. We need what we can get.
We don't have money. All we have are these.
You're a merchant.
Yeah, it's a
He's
long
a bad
story.
merchant.
It's a long story. I'm not a bad merchant. It's a long story, okay? Listen, we have leftover food, I think.
As you guys are doing this, this one runs over and actually goes and starts holding down the blood spots of their friend. It's like, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. The person's like coughing a bit, but they're keeping them alive. Oof.
We can give you the scraps. We can give you the scraps.
We don't need. What's in the barrel? What's in the cart?
Cassius.
It's some leftover food from my recent trip from the nearby village.
We're taking the cart too.
Fine.
All right.
You're gonna give him a cart.
Is this fight over then? You're done with this?
Yeah, I suppose.
Sorry for beating your friend.
Hey, that's what happens when you get this desperate. So the four of them
What understand people?
grab their stuff. They take the cart, put their injured friend in the cart. One's holding them like you're going to be okay as the other two move over. They have your food. They put it in the cart with them. And they carry off into the night. Where they're going, it's off the road, but you don't know where precisely.
At least we still have our fire.
Yep. They weren't here to take your
Yeah,
fireplace. They're here to take your stuff.
I'm gonna cozy on up back by the fire over here. I ain't feeling too good.
It's time to warm up.
All right. So, I'm assuming now is when you would be taking a short rest since you had a day's journey.
Jeez.
Definitely.
All right. Cassius, because this is a short rest, you technically would have to spend the hit die if you want to heal yourself.
I feel like I have to, so.
Yep. So, you're spending the hit die. As I said, during short rest, healing is maximized, so you're at full health. Captain Gilbert, you have a special advantage. You have this ability called Second Wind.
Oh, I see that.
You could spend your Second Wind, gain a D10 plus 1, which is maximized to 11, and then you still regain it at the end of the short rest.
I would absolutely like to do that free heal.
Fantastic. You get your free heal, bring you back to 12. You then short rest. You did not use your hit dice, and because it's a short rest, you got your superiority dice back.
Do I get both of them back?
Yep. I put it to 2.
Awesome.
Yep. So in case you're wondering, this is what I mean by saying fighters at level 1 are a bit more important.
Yeah. That's what I figured when I was using the second parry. I'm like, I hope we get both dice back when we rest.
All right. Yep. So yeah. Also, I am quick variant rule just because I thought was stupid in 5th edition. When you take a long rest, you get all of your hit die back, not just half of it.
Okay.
When you guys made camp, that was eventful. You managed to hide the fact that you have money, Gilbert, but you did lose your cart, and whatever last bits of food were left are now gone. But you're not dead. That's a plus.
That is a plus. How do you look so good after that fight? You look like it never happened.
This is what happens when you're the captain on the high seas. You learn to recover quick.
You realize he was wearing a red shirt and brown pants.
You're a pretty good fighter for a merchant.
I'm not good at like fighting face to face like you are. But yeah, definitely not actually. Did you take that man down in one hit?
You have to intimidate early on. That's what an old crewmate told me.
You gotta teach me some of this stuff.
Oof. All right.
Spend less money on escort.
Moving on. You make it around the mid, like it's heading towards evening. You guys do have rations, so I'm not going to worry about food right now. But it's around evening when you guys reach the next town. This town is a lot more bustling. This one is pretty close to where the Riftwind portal is. It's only like a day away. So there's a lot more livelihood. There's even a casino. There's a bunch of stuff. Is from here, lively town, a person with, I hate to appeal to the murder, to like the more violent side of your guys' nature, but it's a pirate and a con man in a big city that needs money.
I thrive in these kind of places.
All right.
Let's show off those merchant skills.
So, to an extent, where would you guys like to go? This is a big enough city that if you're asking, is this around here? The answer is probably yes.
Well, I of course want to go to a tavern.
Of course. Of course, a big tavern. 2 stories tall. Place called, given the cold climate, it is called the Frozen Frog. But doesn't stop it from having some of the best ale. There's already a bunch of people having a drinking competition over there. Dwarven sort of in nature. This very stout. Laughing their butts off, enjoying themselves.
I would also like to join in on this.
All right. So there are 3 people there that are all they're all 3 dwarves that all look quite like brothers. 2 of them wear heavy armor. The 2 of them are wearing nearly plate armor. Like it's a few steps down from plate. And another one has half plate. The one with half plate is just quietly drinking their beer on the side, while the other 2 are cheering, slamming it, laughing, and chugging it down. They have bought a round for everyone, and as you guys walk in, you actually both get a drink just offered right to you.
What a lovely place.
I love it already.
Bunch of random commoners, people more halfling in nature and size. That the dwarves are actually kind of everyone here is about dwarven in size. Some a little taller, but generally speaking, all just having a rambunctious party right now. Some people are playing games in the corners. Some people are just drinking away. Some people are singing, that sort of thing. But the entire party seems to center around those 3 that are buying the drinks.
So Cassius, you see anybody who might be vulnerable for getting some money off of? Because we need money quick.
I like how you're saying this to the merchant, not the con man.
I mean, I gotta keep the circle tight. I don't want to branch out.
Mm. So as I said, there are several games. Some of those games are gambling games, games of dice, games of cards, games of that nature. Some are just people relaxing. There's plenty of drunk people if you want to just talk to a random humanoid that's drinking away over in the corner. Things of that nature. A few others, like a group of 4 girls and guys, just kind of like teenage in age, just having fun here, given that the dwarves are paying for the drinks and the drinking age is quite a bit lower here than in a place like America.
I mean, it's almost like, I mean, we gotta talk to the people that are the center of everything, right?
I might actually move over to where some of the games are. I know a trick or 2 that can maybe guarantee me a couple victories here and there.
All right. What game specifically are you looking for?
Is it just between like cards and dice, or is it like an actual game?
So cards and dice is the general games, but you're sure someone probably has a game of dragon chess. You could probably get more precise. There are people that know so cards and dice are pretty acceptable. You can probably find someone who plays other games, but the more vague the game is, the more experienced the person would have to be to know and have the cards available. I
think I'm gonna cheat me some dice.
All right. So what is right? You have some tools, don't you? What did you end up choosing?
Well, I have my thieves' tools, but and my disguise kit and forgery kit, but for this instance, I think I'm going to use just like some good old deception tactics, and maybe even combine with some sleight of hand to be able to fool them into losing.
So here's the thing: you're a charlatan, correct? One of the items in your equipment that you probably forgot you had is tools of the con of your choice.
Oh, yeah. Wait, I don't think I have that in here, like added.
Nope.
That Would you allow me to decide that now?
Yep. My idea is
Weight
that
of
there's enough
dice.
options that whichever one you choose, it's probably available for you.
I would say weighted dice. I feel like that would be perfect. Dice is such
All
a common
right.
game.
Oof. So you're going to get dice. So I'm gonna say a lot of it is using your charisma to persuade them into pushing more money into the pots before you actually do your rolls. So
Okay.
this will involve some persuasion checks, or yeah, and you can use sleight of hand to improve as well. So I'm going to use the downtime rules of 3 rolls. So the more you're using it, so it's 1 for persuasion, 1 for sleight of hand, and what will the third one be?
Deception to kind of make sure that they don't catch on to the dice
Yep.
being weighted.
You'll
after
have
she rolls.
advantage on the deception check thanks to being an actor.
Okay.
All right. So will you roll your 3 rolls? We can roleplay this as well, but yeah, we can roleplay this, or we can focus on just doing the rolls and getting you the money.
Let's just get the rolls down.
Yeah,
For,
let's
for
get the
money.
rules, and then we could do some roleplay during it, as we already know what's going to happen.
Do you want me to do Oh wait, no. Yeah, we'll do the persuasion. That's for
persuasion
trying to bait 'em
first
into more
to
higher money.
Yeah, add more to the pot, basically. All right. There's a decent amount in the pot. Yeah, they're convinced to bring it from like 5 gold to 10, 12, 15 gold. Actually, let's just say 13 gold is 13 gold is in the pot for this roll.
Okay.
Then your sleight of hand to make sure you win the full pot. Or 13 gold for each person. There's 5 people in there. So that's a total of 75 gold, I believe.
Dang.
65
Alright.
gold. 65 gold is in the pot, but your roll is to get how much of the pot you're... This is the idea of a number of rolls for how much of the pot you acquire.
Okay. Alright, so sleight of hand.
Yeah. Dirty 20 is the number to beat to basically get the good chunk of that gold. So let's see, 65. If 30 is the nearly impossible, that means you're getting about 40, 45 gold from this.
Alright.
So now the deception check too. Like, those rolls were good.
It's all
a little
comes
too
down to
good.
this.
You have advantage, remember?
Right, I'll just roll it a second time then. Okay, well.
Variance is... One of them pipes up. Variance is variance, lad. Does he look like someone who'd be like that? No.
Very,
like
very...
He's a merchant. Not a merchant. They have stakes. They have a name to claim. Well, lucky you. As you gain about 45 gold from that little wager there.
Good job, Cassius.
Thank goodness.
All right, Gilbert.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Well, I had decided to go talk to well, not talk to go join the 3 at the center of the party.
Aye.
Not to do anything useful.
Yep.
But to join in on the drinking.
Oh, you have a drink yourself?
Definitely.
Oh,
Hand
good.
one over.
Oh, just hand one over. They kind of look at each other. Well, I'll give you a test. If you could drink any one of us under the table, you'll get a little more than just the drink. But if you don't, you conk out, and that's it. They just kind of laugh at each other. Other than the one and halfway, he seems kind of quiet compared to the other 2 who are just laughing and enjoying themselves. So, first drink. Everyone takes their swig. You have an advantage. They also have an advantage. They're dwarves. Oof.
Yeah.
By the way, name's Eric. The other one over there, that's Eric. And this quiet one, he's Eric.
I'm going to call you all Eric.
Hey, that's what most people do. Oop. Forgot to do the toggle advantage.
Alright, so toggle advantage. And which one are we rolling?
Constitution save.
Boom.
Well, one got a crit.
Oh boy.
See, these are not the exact rules, but they are at advantage. Oh my gosh!
Oh boy.
Well, one of them.
Wow.
Oh my!
You're kidding.
All right. So Eric is perfectly fine, just laughing it off, just like, oh, this kid thinking he could drink us off the table, as the other one literally passes out as he's laughing about this. Eric? Eric? You alright, lad? Oh. Well, I guess you did it. I'm not even drunk yet, are you?
Not at all.
Well, how about we have a talk? So what are you here for? And as we're talking, I'm just gonna nonchalantly roll con saves.
Well, me and my merchant friend over there, as I point to Cassius, who's winning dice, are trying to find a way into this place called Riftwind. You ever heard of it?
Oh yeah, Riftwind. We're actually celebrating about that. We found a way in. We've got the good in, the three of us, all together. Well, usually you're supposed to be taking the hits for us, lad, as he's like slapping the one that's unconscious. Oh, well, it'll be good. Drink! As they all take another swig. The one that's in half plate just puts the drink down. Like, it was good for me. Really, you're gonna stop now? Just kind of shakes, nods his head. As he's like, alright. Well, how about you? You're starting to get a little woozy. You're starting to get drunk. You're starting to get drunk. Ugh. Hey, so what are you planning to do in Riftwind?
I'm here for adventure.
Oh, you think you become an explorer then? They have some weird routes, some weird magical doohickeys that decides whether or not you can be an adventurer. But the three of us made it through. Don't know how, don't know why, but it is. And it's great. The three of us. We're going to be adventurers. Here it has something to do with... Knock on wood, lad, but... Apparently they're a little... How do we say this? Short of staff.
How do I go about becoming an explorer like you guys?
Well, you just talk to one of the people in Narcosul.
Okay.
But from there, they just kind of... Often they just say yes or no. You don't really have a test or anything, they just say yes or no. It's kind of weird, kind of arbitrary, but when it works, it works. I think they're saying yes a bit more often, though.
I think we can manage that.
It was a bit more sparse last time I entered. Drink! Oh, that was a strong one. Oh, there it's good to me. Ooh, you are officially drunk.
I'm a fan.
Ooh, well, hey,
This ale's getting strong.
what was that?
This ale's getting strong.
Hey, well, when you drink a good pint, if you drink a good 5 pints, it's going to happen to you. Oof, you didn't. You missed the first three swigs, but and he just looks back. But you did better than they. But you lasted longer than they did. That impressed me. So how's this? One more swig, and if you keep your hold up, just a little drunk. Hey, bartender, give me the hardest. And he just puts down 10 gold in front of the bartender. Just immediately slips it up. Gets this ale that's still like bubbling and foaming. The smell makes you a little woozy. If you could finish this drink, I think. Well, how about we take you up to Riftwind ourselves? If you can finish this drink without dropping.
Let's do it.
Alright, this is a much higher constitution save. Think of a 20. Dream of the 20.
I believe.
Unfortunately, you get yourself... There's still, like, about 1 sip left. And as you bring it up to your mouth, you collapse onto the floor behind you.
Gilbert, why?
Bit rough.
Do I
Cassius, you do hear him collapse. You hear him collapse as you're leaving with your part of the pay from the gold from the con. So, as you look over to see your ally friend dropped unconscious with several ales around him. Got close, lad. You got close.
Captain, I haven't known you for long, but I'm somehow not surprised.
Happens every time.
Oof.
But I do have something that may be useful for us.
Oof. Oh, so you must be the ally then. You must be the person. Eric! He just reaches
Yeah.
his hand out and, like, if your hand's not out, he's going to reach over, grab your hand, and pull it forward to shake it.
I will shake the hand.
Very heavy,
Cassius.
very, like, needlessly strong, kind of hurts your hand himself. Ugh.
Quite the grip there, Eric.
You gotta have one. You're going into fights. Well,
Fortunately for me, my dainty elf bones don't give quite the
I...
back.
Yes, but that's in your nature to be dainty. Well, we're gonna get some rest, the three of us. How you all planning to join the explorers? If there's just the two of you.
Wait, what was that?
Well, there's plenty of people in Riftwind themselves that got past and then just wait around because you're gonna need enough people to actually go on ventures. If you go it solo, you're gonna drop more often than not. Enemies are tough. They strike hard. Whatever threats you're dealing with, could be.
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten a taste of that quite recently. I mean, I'm sure we'll think of something.
Well,
But whether it's hire people or just find friends along the way.
well, as a merchant, I'm assuming you have enough money for that hiring. Well, have your drink, have your night. I'm gonna go take my brothers back in for the night.
All right. Thanks for. I look over at Captain on the floor, watching over my friend.
He was a nice drinking buddy, quite strong. I'm sure we'll run into each other more at Riftwind.
I hope so.
All right. So you now have a halfling that's quite very drunk. It's in the middle of the night. You do have your money. I do believe between the two of you, you'll have enough. I think you barely have enough money to purchase Riftwind tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 55.
We have about 15 to spare.
All right. Oof. Well, at least you have the money. At least you have the money.
Yeah, I suppose.
So where are you staying for the night?
I was gonna say, well, I guess it's on to me. How much would a room be here? 2 beds?
2 beds. We're talking about a good room because I'm assuming mercantilism and such. Then that would be 3 gold.
Sure. I hand over the 3 gold there.
All right. He reaches out, pulls out one of the keys from the top hat. There's like a row of keys he takes out from the top shelf. Here you are, lad. Good. Get your rest. That's room D6. So, right next to, not far from those dwarves that are having a party. Hope they don't keep you up.
I'm sure I'll manage. Thank you.
All right.
I'll
Well,
take the keys, and I guess it's time to lug my friend up to the room.
right. Whew. Well, guys, do get your rest. And yeah, with that short rest, you do recover from your drunkenness. There, you can go on the road again. You do see the as you guys are still waking up, the Erics, all of them have already left. Like you see, as you're still, like you wake up to the sound of their carts, them loudly gain their cart on the road and moving out. They do make noise every time they leave. They're literally yelling and shouting from outside as you guys. It's like the crack of dawn.
They seem to make noise whatever they're doing.
Allowed everything with everything they do.
They yell in their sleep. You alright over there, buddy? You able to get up?
Oh yeah, this is nothing. Nothing compared to.
Make one more Constitution saving throw. Again,
Okay.
advantage. Checking for hangover. All right, you're good.
This is nothing. This is nothing.
That last bit
That
of
was much worse
alcohol
than
you're
Pepsi.
still tasting in this moment. It's delicious.
It was some good ale.
I think if you haven't heard, I'm pretty sure the Eric's just left. I was hoping to catch them. I was gonna see if maybe we could have them accompany us since the road's kind of dangerous from what we told or from what we saw.
By the way,
Did say
you recognize the ale as something known as Dragon's Drink. It is known for like when you first drink it, it doesn't taste much different from any other ale, but the aftertaste remains for a very long time. Um, some have apparently this is Captain Gilbert. You just know it has a good taste. Apparently, mages actually value it for something. You don't have Arcana, so
I just like the taste.
yep, tastes good.
The Erics did say that they were explorers in Riftwind. We could tail them.
That is true. Where you talked to them, were they did they say anything about heading back in that direction or?
They said they were
They're
heading
heading.
back there.
You can just tell by their yelling that they're heading down the road you guys are heading down.
I suppose we might as well tell them, and if they catch on, we can just say we've been trying to hire them or something, so we don't seem like we have ill intentions.
Yeah.
'Cause
Maybe even save them from a fight.
yeah, who knows? All right, I guess let's get our stuff ready and head out then.
All right, so you guys are going to try to silently tail these guys.
For now, I guess. Or, I mean, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. I like the idea of having the opportunity of helping them out.
All right.
Yeah.
So, so for groups checks, because you both are capable, I don't want like one person rolls really badly, one person rolls really well, therefore it fails both of you. I'm just going to have you both have proficiency, so you can group together. One of you rolls the stealth check, and it's for both of you. Whichever one you guys trust can get the stealth.
Uh,
Probably
do we-
you, right?
yeah, I guess. Just normal stealth check.
Yep, just a flat roll. I'm going to see their passive perceptions. All right, that basically covers it. Yeah, so while these are grasslands and there's not much cover, that also means it's very easy to see them from a distance. You can tail them from a good 200 feet away, without losing sight of them and without while still knowing what they're doing. And at 200 feet away, it's very easy to keep yourself hidden. Whew. So you do see a point where, in fact, a bunch of wolves seem to encircle them, and you get to see for a moment the way they fight. Every single one of them uses a warhammer in combat, except for, and each of the warhammers seem to be imbued with a different kind of magic. They literally just kill as they kill the wolves. They kill 3 of the wolves, and then the rest run. And as you guys come across it 200 feet later, you see one has its like head singed, one has its each of them is done a different way. One, their head was singed. You recognize this. You have Arcana, so you recognize one of them was casting green flame blade. One was seeming to smite them, like with divine magic, and the last one has thorns and stuff in their body. They were actually using nature magic.
I'm going to just divulge this information. Give it to my friend here, to the captain.
Cassius, what are these thorns?
I thought I saw his
I
head get bashed in
think-
with a hammer.
Their weapons seem to be infused with some type of magic, different magic for each one.
Magic, huh? Never been a big fan.
Yeah, magic can be pretty sneaky like that.
I'll stick to my pistol.
Ooh, the pistol.
I can't imagine magic.
So, a story on that pistol. In your piracy, pistols are extremely rare even amongst the separate planes. Your pistol was actually one of your first pieces of cargo from your piracy. You robbed someone who just came from Riftwind, and the pistol was one of the items they got from another plane. You just think it was cool, and obviously it was used against you. It's quite a deadly weapon. You practice and trained, and Captain Gilbert, that pistol is specifically like you are perhaps one of the few people in this plane that uses a pistol. That can.
Right.
Oof. So, like in a
That'll be
sense,
useful.
this pistol some would consider a magic item because it's so rare, even though it's not magical itself.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
My trusty pistol.
All right. Well, as you get to the portal to Riftwind, it is Cassius, as you know this, the portal to Riftwind is usually it's a good mile or two. It's just a random teleportation circle outside of cities. Sometimes they go in cities, but sometimes it just generally wherever location it is. Sometimes cities are built around it if they're newer cities, but this has been an old teleportation circle. People did not care to build around it, so oof. This one is just a random teleportation circle a good 5 miles from the city. There's enough guards and stuff to prevent it from getting massacred and destroyed, but it's not like... It's just a little outpost, basically.
Okay.
You cut out.
I was saying, okay. I feel the situation.
Oof.
So Cassius, you know these portals much better than I do. I've never seen one. What do we do here?
Well, there isn't really much complication, I would say. It's pretty straightforward. We do have to buy our passage and probably a check here or there to make sure we don't have any ill intent for... Go ahead.
Is it alright if, like, for the description, I describe how you do it just nonchalantly to give an example, to give Gilbert the, like, spectacle? So, as you have been to Riftwind, you do have a little token that is of a... it's a white token of just the letter R in, like, a fancy lettering to be the R of Riftwind. As you get to the portal, you just simply place the token on the ground, and it seems to like connect with the magic of the portal itself. The actual gates that you're talking about through the insurance and stuff, that's actually for the guards on the other side of the portal that are in Riftwind itself. The R, as it seems to glow, it sends a signal. It starts blinking and blinking. Eventually, one of the guards there picks up on the blinking, and slowly a portal, just like a blue line, streaks in between, just as like a big arc, and then it widens until it's large enough for you guys to see inside, as a guard is sitting there with a staff just emanating magic, just turning it like a wrench. He's like, all right, make it through quick. This portal doesn't have much juice.
All right, so we go through the portal.
As you do, it does seem to be nighttime here, Gilbert. I don't believe you've been here very often. Every road seems to be well lit by what you don't realize now. They seem to have torches everywhere. Red knows these to all be continual flames. This place is epitome of magic. You guys are near the edge. There's a big outer wall on the edge to prevent people from falling out of the world. This world is actually flat, so you could just fall off the edge of the earth. All right, state your business. Pay the fine and state your business.
Okay, so I hand over the money.
All right.
Or money combined, which would be...
Yep.
I have 57, and you have how much?
55.
All right.
Okay, so
50 from each of you is taken. All right, this will help cover the costs. And He has like a, those kind of cash register pockets where you could like slide it all in and have it all organized. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just that on the side. All right.
Yeah.
What is your business here in Riftwind, if I may ask?
We're seeking to be hired as adventurers.
Has the work gone out already? Interesting. Well, the Riftwind Explorers is just on the northern side of the marketplace. You have entered from the southern side. Do watch your step, take your time, or be clean, be clear. Do stop by and patronize the merchants where you can. The term is patron. Okay, just metagame. The term is patronize when you're helping them out, not patronize as in insulting, correct?
Well, I mean, I took it as insulting.
I just want to make sure I'm not like using the wrong word. We're just
Yeah, you're right.
all right. Whew.
Yeah, as always, and I take my leave.
All right.
Thank you for the introductions.
So,
Thank you.
you guys, as you go through, there are more distinct and variable people in this area than you'd expect anywhere. There's people that stand at good 10 feet tall, selling simple apples. There are people standing at 2 feet tall, all selling statues. There's a squid person. There's an octopus person. There's a gray person, a orange person, a yellow person, green, silk. Like, every sort of race, and even races you did not know exist, like, they all walk through this area. Some races you know exist, you've only seen as, like, dire beasts, like the Sawagwind that sometimes fight you in the seas. One of them seems to be in the city, though their skin is a deeper dark red instead of blue. They seem to be selling, actually fish, to be specific. Just fish for, like, a meal. And
Well,
basically, the idea of this main marketplace is if you guys want to, like, buy something or, like, get something crafted, there's probably someone here that you could interact with. Oof. Guard.
Cassius, I would love to buy stuff, but it seems we're a bit short on cash.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find that. We're gonna have to find some work.
There seems to be a bit of an interaction near the edge of the marketplace where a pair of guards are interacting with an illithid. In case you're wondering, mind flayers, and they're seeming to have a discussion over the wares they're selling. They're using magical connotation, but Cassius, you recognize they're discussing whether or not they're selling living creatures and arguing over the term living.
Good. Can I take a look at the wares nearby to kind of see for myself?
Yes. One of them is literally called. One of them is servile. One of them they've already taken down was like servile. Servile cats. So it's like a cat, and you see its brains exposed, and like it explains how the cat will always come to you when you aid. It's like a support cat, but it's like programmed to only want your pets effectively. Like it's actively like made to be more of a docile form. Another is they're arguing over a bigger crate. You can't see inside the crate, but it seems about human-sized, which is concerning in its own right. But generally, it's all, as far as you can tell, mentally modified creatures. The argument actually devolves to something around the lines of, well, you're letting that person sell dead fish. Why can I not sell dead animals? It's no different. They're not alive anymore. Their personhood has been removed.
Cassius, this is your expertise. You think we get involved?
The thing is, I could definitely get involved and maybe turn it into our favor somehow, but I need to figure out what kind of angle I need to push at here. Like if I'm gonna help the merchant, but I don't know which side to help.
Yep. Well, I mean, so basically, as you're listening in, there are a bunch of people listening in, so you can listen in without drawing attention. Basically, the two guards are accompanied by a person in robes with one of those R's like you have, but it's a darker gray. You know that generally mercantiles and people that work with Riftwind, they start at white for like lowest of mercantiles, which is what you have, and as they get darker and darker, it shows like a sense of superiority. So like if you meet Narciso, the person who built this kingdom itself, he would have a pitch black R as his insignia. This person's R is a gray, as he's like discussing, sir, we have already outlawed slavery. Unfortunately, I do not see how selling creatures that are designed, even if their bodies, as you say, are not of their own volition, even if their volition has been changed, they are creatures with said volition. They're slaves. We do not allow slave trading here in Riftwind. This discussion continues, but they are of their own volition. So what would I have to remove to make them not considered a slave? And the bickering starts to begin about specifically what parts of the frontal lobe and other parts of the brain would need to be removed for them to allow service. It's like, well, surely you would sell a single brain. That's been an oddity you allowed me to sell before.
I think I might have a plan.
Let's hear it, Cassius.
All right. I'm just gonna approach.
Before you address, I do want to note both of you have your inspiration if you want to use this at any point.
Right.
Because
You know
before this session ends, when the session ends, you will both get refreshed your inspiration. I want to make sure you guys actually spend it before the session.
Yeah.
There will be
I will
state there will be some conversation happening within Riftwind Explorers, but if you want to spend it now, I just wanted to offer because I'm sure you've forgotten.
I would actually like to do that. Thank you for reminding me.
All right.
I will spend that. And I want to approach and say, you guys do know that the Code of Conduct states there will not be the exchange of living peoples and beings. Emphasis on living. And as he has said, these are not actually alive. Therefore, he has the rights to sell them.
The Riftwind begins to discuss. He's like, we also do not... like they're kind of researching, and as one of them pulls out the book, you, being a smart merchant, use your own skill and bring it 2 pages forward to where a person early on in the history of Riftwind sold undead servants, only justifying your claim, further justifying it within the laws of the world itself. The person with the dark gray considers it for a bit. It's like, well, the items on the left side there still do not fit the prerequisites, but the items on the right, you have approved with that. The Illithid, thank you very much. As you are expected to package the rest of those and have that cleared off when you leave. You understand? Of course. So they bring out the tape and put a restricted package around the human-sized crate. But the mine cats and servants of that nature are in fact up for sale now, properly.
Yeah, you got to be careful with anything human, elf-looking. We get quite touchy over that kind of stuff.
I understand, with their supple thoughts. Thank you very much for your assistance. I am one of the many hands of Geo, if you'd ever be interested. Perhaps I should thank you properly for that. And he reaches into his hand, he has a pocket, he reaches into he has inventory, so he reaches into one of it and pulls out this large, golden disc. In the center of the disc is a picture of what you recognize as an elder brain, and on the outside it has a bunch of insignias on it. This is our great leader, Geo himself, who has brought peace to our realm. The insignias will allow you to, if you ever wish, get the teleportation circle to enter his realm freely. You will be welcomed there if you do.
Thank you.
The
job,
It's just
Cassius. You got us a golden plate.
the plate itself is worth 100 gold, enough to buy the teleportation circle to said area.
So it's like a trade kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
I can use it once to get there.
That's the general intent of it, but it is actually made of gold. It's 100 gold worth of material.
Okay.
May Geo guide your fate to greatness. And if you wish to purchase anything, let me know. I sell many creatures. What would be called carcasses modified to great things. Cats, other small insects, creatures of of what used to be our overworld. Things that would be considered pests, vermin, and also those that hunt said pests and vermin. Do feel free to come by if you ever need anything.
I'll make sure of it.
Cassius, I'll be honest, this guy's creeping me out.
Yep.
I like give you a
Yeah.
little show. I'm like, what's the hell out?
Yeah, he begins doing the rest of the packaging for the other stuff. So you guys are free to. He turns his back to you and begins his work. So
I think it's, unless you want to look around some more, I think it's time we
Yep.
move up north.
Yeah, I think we should head north.
Yep. None of the merchants are constantly all trying to draw your attention towards their weapons, their food, their armor, their delicacies. Nothing stands out like guards confronting them like that. So, as you continue to a large 5-story building that seems to take up the entire northern side. It seems to be a few thousand feet in distance across each side of the square building. It's it capitalizes the entire northern side, and on the western side is where the guardhouse is. This is what's called Narciso Tavern. It is a general place where people party and stuff, and you know that on the third, fourth, and fifth floor are reserved specifically for Riftwind explorers. Oof.
Yes.
We need to figure out how to. We need to go become explorers. That's what we came here for.
All right. As you enter, it's up. So you guys enter and go. You know that the tavern, you could just generally sit down, and waiters running around, circling and stuff, will come welcome you as you do wish. The second floor is usually for inn rooms and stuff, and there's a little side on the exit. So you do notice it's not really hidden, but it's not in a convenient place. But over in the corner of the first floor, there is a general meeting area or guards and people of that nature, which you see the person with a darker gray R that you just talked to earlier calmly walk into the back room.
Isn't that the guy from earlier? I think we should follow him.
I don't. Do you think we're allowed over there or back there?
There's no guards stopping you.
Yeah, might as well, right? Maybe we can ask him in finer detail what we need to do.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
The two of you move in. As you guys go. Oh, and you see that as you walk through, it's literally just a desk where the person's sitting through. On the edges is just a dozen chairs, just lined up to face the desk, but they don't have any tables themselves. As you guys walk in, the person scribbling just simply puts his hand out as if pointing to one of the seats. Doesn't even look up from the paper.
I take a seat.
So do I. It seems very. Seems like they don't really care about this that much.
All right. The paperwork is far enough along. You two, may I ask, what is your purpose here?
We seek to become adventurers.
Well, if you would come closer, I do need to check to confirm you're capable.
Yeah.
They're reaching into their desk and like shuffling for something.
I approach the desk.
I'm right behind him.
All right. Pulls out a strange like looking metal rod and like just pushes it onto your arm. Would you like to make an Arcana check as to what in the world this metal rod is?
Of course.
So, you've seen this theme before. It is basically, so you know what mood rings are basically, correct? How they
Yeah.
change color depending on the temperature and stuff. This is like that, except it's based on like, how do I explain this? So you know how Gur, you know this at least, that there are planes outside of the actual material plane, such as the plane of the plane of good, the plane of evil, the plane of law, the plane of chaos.
Yep.
Basically, this theme is actually like built by the law with like this theme. It's like a strange conundrum because it was made for chaos opposing law to literally make a magical like color shifting that is designed to be actual randomness. Like the color that shows is designed to be random. When he puts it over yours, it turns into a light green. As he puts it over the other, it's also light green. All right, you both are the color necessary to be part of the Riftwind Explorers. That works. As in, when I said it's arbitrary and random, it's completely random whether a person is capable. There's no like personal theme. This was a completely random item, and it turned the right color. Therefore, you can be explorers.
So that's it. We don't need to do anything. We're just explorers now.
We do have some paperwork to fill in, but the first step is to understand what it means to be an explorer and to understand the concerns we face as explorers for Riftwind. You too? I will be giving you minor pins, lower level. Brings you 2 R's, which are of a bronze color instead. These are the starter pins for new adventures in of the Riftwind Explorers. Your job is very simple. You are to go up there and speak with other members and figure out which of them are the secret villains. Those there that are designed to, their job is to test certain things, and the Riftwind Explorers need to make sure that no bad apples make through. So there's a secret villain up there. You need to identify them. If there's multiple, you need to identify multiple. And at the end of the night tonight, I expect you to report back with which ones you think are the villains.
Alright, seems simple enough.
We can manage that.
All right. Well, best of luck. And also, obviously, if you ask who here is the villains, that will end badly for you. Identify it and simply report to me. No conversation between them.
Alright,
Well,
time to go do that.
so this next section is basically going to be focused roleplay. I did have some character sheets prepared, specifically just for the Riftwind Explorers that you would see up there. So, with that bronze medal, you're able to get upstairs to the second floor. At the very end of the rooms at the second floor, there is a guard waiting, which when you show him the bronze medal, allows you through. The second floor, the third floor, seems to be a great big tavern, almost identical to the first floor. Except there's far less people. In fact, you could count the amount of people on your finger, despite having loads of tables, as much to fill out an entire party. There seems to be a good, let's see, 3. So first of all, you see the 3 dwarves. 2 of them drinking, another sitting at the table. Another sitting at the table alongside a few others. There's about 8 people in total upstairs right now, and 8 people plus the bartender. There's only one. Just a nice looking woman that's just chipper and walking around giving the beers. At the left side of the wall is a bunch of different adventure like wanted posters of they name the issue, the realm you would be traveling to, explaining what the problem is, that sort of stuff. The amount, the reward, all of that. So, let's see. I just need to mentally picture this. So there are the two dwarves, Eric and Eric, sitting at the end where, like at the long bar. Eric is sitting at a large table next to 4 others. One is a kind of a human that seems already plastered, like he's shaking slightly, like he falls over, he shakes himself back awake. But the man seems to, like, despite looking this ragged and like his hands just clasped around a massive jug, the man does wear like armor that magically glows and shows off the guy's power otherwise. Other than that, there are 2 elf and a halfling, both like generally lowly clothed, one in leather, one literally just wearing a cloak. As in the center of that table is a beautiful woman who's wearing a dress, and I'll just, oh my gosh, have you heard about this story? Oh, there's this time I had this great story. You won't even believe it. So there were 3 people. No, wait, there were 2 people. No, I think, okay, there was one other person. Then there was me. Of course, I was there. It was fantastic. You guys gotta hear this story. Like, just going on and on and on, talking up a storm. In the corners, there is a orcish person who's not even wearing a shirt and has like tattoos across their chest, and is just like drinking a mug by themselves. And in another corner, there is a kind of lean, elvish looking person, but instead of having like pointy ears, they have no ears, and it looks like they're reading 2 books at once.
Well, that's 8 people to deal with, not including the bartender. And we don't know how many villains there are.
I'm gonna take a bet that woman is one. She probably talks people until they're deaf.
Think it's a cover?
Honestly, it could really go. Anyone here could be it. Although I have my doubts about the Erics, but you never know. They might be in on it.
Yeah, they might have been in on it from way before.
All right. So, should we split up and talk to people, or do you think we should try to both talk to people? Maybe try to seem friendly and like, hey, we're new, and maybe we can determine based off of what they say to us.
Last time we went separate, I ended up on the floor.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna come with you, especially for the Erics.
Yeah.
So you could take the lead here.
All right. So 4 basic tables you could enter, as well as specific individuals you can talk to.
Should we take care of the scary orc first?
Let's go for it.
All right.
Maybe the Eric will be a bit drunk and a little loose on the tongue.
Yeah, let's leave them for last, because the more drinks they have, the easier it'll be.
All right. So the scary orc just has this dark gray skin, stands at about 6'5", just a big guy. He wears no shirt, but you see a war axe just sitting on the corner of the room next to him, as they just see you walk up and just shakes their head, just continues back to their drink.
You're a rough pirate. Go ahead, say something. This is more your stuff than mine.
That's true. So what are you here for?
Hmm?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. You gonna say anything other than grunt?
He kind of shrugs.
Seems like the only thing this guy opens his lips for is for drink.
Well,
As you say that, he kind of just like glares at you.
And probably battle cries.
He's just like
Well, I'm
glaring at you. I'm not like doing a no blinking contest like last time, but just glaring at you.
gonna do something bold. Cassius, you may disagree, but there's no way to get through this guy. I'm gonna swipe his drink and chug it in front of him. Try and hit dominance.
All right. First, make an athletics check.
I'll be right back while it's happening.
That would be the pirate reputation as well, right?
Oh, you like to use your pirate reputation? Your pirate reputation is so you don't get your teeth kicked in when you do this. To be clear, you still have to make the athletics check to pull it off.
That's fine. Normal.
Yep.
Oh my god.
With a 20 versus a 21, I'm actually gonna say you swipe with such vigor, you break the handle off the drink, so you could chug it as he's just holding the drink, the handle of the drink. Just
Yeah, just be bold like that and just do that.
there is the kind of notice, like it made a cracking sound. People turned around to see you chugging the orc's drink as he's just staring at you like, as, yep, you made quite a image. Just as you chug it, put it down. As you drink it, you realize the guy was drinking something so soft it was nearly water. Like it had the alcohol content of apple juice.
Did it go well?
Kind of.
They're just kind
Apple juice.
you drew a lot of attention, and people are just kind of staring at you for a moment.
I'm gonna ask him. So what's with the fake brew?
As he kind of like actually grins and like smiles at the kind of response, as you hear from the table like, "Oh my gosh, the little guy's so cute. He actually took it from. Oh, he actually dealt with Go. What the? He's so. Oh, that's so funny. What a cute little thing. Wow. This is gonna be a story, man. I gotta tell this story. It's gonna be so good. Hi." And she like actually runs up at just like. She actually kneels down, like, you know, the joke of how to talk to short people. It's like, gotta get her name real fast. "Hey, I'm Valanth. What's your name, little one?" And she just has this big, obviously incompetent smile as she looks down at you.
Don't call me little one.
"Oh, well, you are a little. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm just saying what's there, you know? You gotta kind of see what's going on there." Oh my gosh, are you guys new explorers too, or are they the villains? Anyways, let's, what are you doing? How's it go? Let's talk about your guys' self. Like, I am a great person. I'm Valanth. I'm part of the Rothenel family. This was just all perfect. Like, oh my gosh, it was all perfect. But, anyways, who are you all? I don't know what you're doing. I've just been part of my noble family. It's always expected that, you know, I was going to do something great. It just so happened that I was also going to be an explorer, so I could do my greatness around all of the worlds. That's going to be so amazing. Oh my gosh, I wonder how many people know me. It's going to be so fantastic.
I'm gonna nudge Cassius and say it's his turn.
You're an explorer?
Oh yeah. So just a few days ago, we got this
Just don't ask her a
badge.
question.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I was saying, Cassius, don't ask her a question and make her talk more.
Oh yeah. So just today, actually, this morning we were getting this all ready. We figured out. Oh god, we've been here for a few hours now, haven't we? And she just yells, "Elrin, how many hours have we been here?" And Elrin, the person with the book, just puts down one of the books and stares at Valanth with just the eyes that tells you of just how little they care about this involvement, and then puts their book back up. He's like, "Okay, so we've been here for about 4 hours now, and we've just been talking. It's been so great. We've been able to tell stories. They have their own stories. It's all pretty fantastic." As you realize they're talking with you, you realize that the other four at the table are like, there's almost a sigh of relief as the rest of them just slowly like talk amongst each other.
Oh no. Before you continue, so they had to do that little test on you too,
Wait,
the little color thing.
uh, um, it's like, oh my god, you're taking. She's like, oh my god, you're taking it too, and she kind of just like leaves a. She kind of like whispers in your ear, I think the short one's the villain.
Yeah, I go to whisper back. I'm like, um, oh, hold on, I had a whole sentence.
I know we're not supposed to talk about it, but I think the short one's a villain.
Was it?
He might. He totally could be. But it's weird how like that the color red is what gets you in here, huh?
It was light green.
I I'm trying to see if she agrees,
Oh.
so I can like, ooh, you know.
Oh my god, it was red for you? Whoa, what?
No. You forgot. Did you not read the whole requirements list? They
Could
had,
you
like,
make a
bunch of
deception
rules in
check, please?
it. Yeah, sure. Hold on.
Hilarious.
Let me I get an
This is
advantage, right?
advantage if you're disguising yourself as someone else. You're just telling a lie. So just a regular
Okay,
deception.
yeah, you're right.
All right, versus their insight.
Dang, she got some insight.
They didn't really list the requirements. I think there was specifically a thing. They actually hide the requirements. So this is actually something I heard. They actually hide the requirements. Apparently, even some of the people in Silver Rank talk about how they have requirements that they follow and they don't actually understand why they got silver. They don't understand most of these things. Like, they're still keeping secrets to us. You don't know. No one here actually has been to the 5th floor. Not a single person in this room. No one knows what they're hiding there. There's still requirements we don't know about. What requirements do you know?
Green is good. Light green is good. And oh, you know what? Look at the time. I need to get a drink. I'll be right back.
All right, well, don't worry. I got some stories to tell some people. Oh, by the way, did I ever get your name, little one? I don't think I got your name. Mine is Valanth. How's yours?
My name is Gilbert.
Gilbert. Oh, little Gilbert. I'm gonna go. Oh, that's such an exciting. Maybe one day we'll work together. I doubt it. But oh my God, it's such a cute little name. Oh, it's so. And she just kind of keeps going and tries to talk you. You will have to actively avoid her if you want to get to conversations with other people.
Great. I'm just gonna go ahead and follow Cassius to the bar.
All right. Well, all right. You two have
Straight
fun.
up
I'm
in the
gonna.
middle of a
And she's like, "Go. You didn't hurt their feelings or anything, did you?" And he just goes, and then he just kind of like slams his drink, and points at the waiter. He's like, "Oh, I'll get another one. Don't you worry." And she runs off. And when she comes back, you will notice, Ren, that she uses the mending spell to repair the damage that Captain Gilbert did to the drink. But that will be in a few minutes. So you're going to the bar where the Erics are.
So this is me just speaking to Captain Gilbert. So I don't think it's the orc, although I still hold that lady in high suspicion because
Yeah,
she seems to want to talk so much that it doesn't really let us think.
Yeah, I don't think it's the orc. The lady though is definitely a top contender right now.
Yeah, compared to everyone else. All right, I guess we'll see what the Erics are up to.
All right. So the 3 Erics, well, 2 Erics plus Eric is staying over there. So it's just Eric and Eric are at the table. Oi, lads, you actually made it. Who would have thought? Usually it's pretty rare for so many people to get through. But and he just kind of looks around. I'm starting to think they have some sort of control over how people get in, and they're starting to increase the number.
I've been here a couple times, just haven't decided to become an explorer yet.
Hey, so have we. We've only taken a quest. You literally were there as we came back from the quest. They got a new one for us though, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Wait, but Eric, didn't you guys say you're already explorers?
Hey,
What
yeah,
are
we
you
went
doing?
through a
What are you
quest
doing here in that
already. It
custody
felt
room?
good. Hey, and the bigger Eric's, the other Eric that went drunk last time, just hey, I got to kill a lot of bad guys. Like the skillet. Well, yeah, Eric
Yeah.
here. He's a fighter of sorts. He took so many hits there. That's his job. Works hard. So how about you two?
Uh, we've gotten into a scrap or two. It was a bit of a what's the word? Hindrance to get to the portal to come here.
We
But we're
managed.
alive.
The other Eric kind of leads over. So what is your favorite part of the fight?
I think the captain's answer is going to be much more interesting than mine.
I'll hear both.
Best part is that feeling. It's,
The
I can't
Eric
remember
actually
words.
interrupts you. The feeling of taking a life. And he just has this big grin on his face.
Not where I was going with that. You seem a bit intense, Eric.
I, it, I only recently got to
Just
do it
shoulder.
for. He's like, I only recently got to do it legally, so I'm relishing it.
I was gonna
um,
say the making others see how strong you are.
hey,
The intimidation factor.
and the other Eric. I'm actually gonna call him the older Eric. The older Eric, the younger Eric, and Eric.
Got it.
The older Eric is like, "Aye, mine is to see, is seeing where they stand. Like, often most fights are a clash of beliefs. Even the conversation is a fight of a sort. That's what I like to see. It's understanding. It's not just defeating your enemy, but understanding them, and then proving you are the better of the two.
I'll have to agree with you on that one.
Then will you emphasize it? I'm sorry. I just want to make sure you know what you're saying and you're not just copying me.
What?
Yeah, none. Never mind.
No, I believe in it. You
Mm.
couldn't have said I couldn't have said it better.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, you two get a drink. We're not allowed to crash ourselves here. They're actually limiting how hard our drinks are allowed to be. At least we're not getting apple juice like the other one.
I don't really drink.
I'll take one.
Suit yourself. All right.
Can't turn it down.
And yeah, so none of these drinks. There's not going to be enough time for you to drink yourself into drunkenness with with your saving throws. I'm just gonna say, on average, you don't. It's going to take so long for you to get drunk that it won't matter.
All right, makes sense.
So. So what else do you want to talk about?
Cassius, did you hear him say murder?
Oh, him. He
Murder.
gets eccentric at times. In case you're wondering, the thing he was talking about was when we were kids, we had to use self-defense once. It's not what it sounded like. We were attacked, and he defended them, and got a bit. It turned out he was quite effective with the hammer before the rest of us were.
Right. So I kind of want to meet the other people in this bar, so I might come back here and have a chat with you guys if you're still here.
Right. I think it's about our turn to go talk with the and he just kind of looks over at the girl in the dress, just like still chattering to the orc, who is like partly falling asleep while drinking their apple juice.
Good luck with that.
Hey, we'll need it. I appreciate it. All right. What group are you going towards next?
Bookman. I think I want to go talk
Yeah,
to
it's a
Bookman.
double
book.
book.
All right. So, as you go up there, Ren, as you have high intelligence and high arcana, you do recognize that the book that they're holding in their hand is a spell book. What they're doing with the book below them, you don't know. It's in a completely foreign language. It's nothing you've seen from your world. There's a strange thing you've noticed that amongst planes, Commenton usually just is accented Commenton across other worlds. What is Goblin speech in one world is often very similar to Goblin speech in the other. Whatever this is of a language that's foreign to you, even in your world. This is... Well, let me just check what languages you know, Ren. Just to confirm it. You do know quite a few, but not what... Yeah, no. This is a foreign language to you. Oh, you never chose your additional language, Captain Gilbert. We'll figure that out later. It's probably not going to be this one.
Oops, my bad.
It's okay. That was my fault. I didn't notice that you guys had an additional language. Well, they're reading the book. As you guys come up, the person kind of looks up, noticing that you're there, and then just looks back down and continues reading their book.
So I noticed you study the arcane arts. A magic user.
She just looks at you kind of with approval, and then just looks back down.
What's it take for one to become magically inclined? Gifted, even.
Her eyes kind of narrowed. She looks at you as if you're kind of... You get the sense, like, you're asking the wrong question, and you think about, like, the idea of becoming magically inclined. Like, as if she doesn't... They don't understand the question.
You sure you're up for this, Cassius?
I'm just going with it. I'm just trying to figure it out.
I mean, they're looking at you confused.
What do these books get you? How do they... What kind of information do they give you?
They look at the books a little bit. They put their spellbook to their side, pull up the other book, and just kind of point at the title. Just thunk thunk. It's in a foreign language, so you can't really read it, but the point it shows an image of the title shows an image of a hand held like complete in the stop motion, and then magic fire emanating from the hand.
I'm not the smartest one, but I think it has something to do with fire.
I'm gonna have to agree with
they
you
actually
on that,
shake
Cap.
The person actually shakes their head in response to that.
Oh.
So,
Actually, in
don't
response,
talk
they
it.
flip
You
over
can't
to one of
talk.
the other pages. Look like they're reading one of the things, and then they pull up their hand, just completely blank. They close their eyes and focus, and light actually starts emanating from their hand. You've seen the light spell be cast, and it involves some actual like somatic components. It involves like touching an object and like rubbing it. They just held their hand completely still, and light started emanating from it.
Cassius, what's this light show that this person's doing? Please explain.
Would you please make an Arcana check?
Um,
This is Advanced Arcana.
Sure.
I'll tell you that much. It's Advanced Arcana. It's Advanced Arcana.
Boy. Does that roll give us any info?
That 10 is you learned it's Advanced Arcana.
That's it. Okay.
Oof. Yeah, I don't know what to quite make of that. I can see how this conversation won't benefit either of us. and I'm gonna take my leave.
They give the look of you think, and then just continue reading their book.
Well, it's not that one.
That went well. That's about what happened with the orc. So
No, that was extremely awkward.
yeah.
I don't know if they won't talk or if they can't talk. That's a curiosity I have, but I don't want to find out. I feel like I'm just gonna get another look like I'm stupid.
Regardless, I don't think they like either of us.
Mm.
That is safe to assume. They seem pretty annoyed with the lady over there.
So so it seems like the conversation, like as you guys are leaving, you recognize that the orc has actually migrated over to the bar to drink, as the two dwarves went to talk with the lady, and the lady's still talking over them, basically. So that conversation is now happening in the corner, and yeah, as you walk over, the short halfling at the table is like, "Hey, by the way, thank you for moving that girl over in the corner instead of in the center. At least we could ignore her from here."
You can say that again.
Oof.
That table is the only table we got left. Right?
Yep. There are four people at this table. Eric, the halfling that just said that to you, an elf they were talking to, and what race is this? I said human. Okay, we're going to. I guess they're a dwarf, but they're a bigger dwarf. Like, usually dwarfs are about 4 feet. This guy's no, they're 4. Yeah, dwarfs are usually 4 feet. This guy's 6 feet tall, despite being a dwarf. Like, they have that stocky build, but they're the size of a fully grown human and kind of tall for a human.
Yeah, wow, that is a tall dwarf.
Yep.
So what do you guys got going on over here?
Just kind of talking about. You're one of the new guys, aren't you?
Is it that obvious?
Yeah. Well, when you've been around as much as I have, yeah. Frederick Weiss, and he reaches his hand out just very simply. Good to have you. Good to have you. This is
I'll shake his hand.
This is a rough job. His hand is very light. He moves quickly, and like as you shake your hand, he like perfectly matches his shake to match yours. This is a rough job. Things. I'm sorry. I don't think we're at the liability to talk about right now. I want to, but. And the elf kind of puts his hand on his shoulder. He's like, "Don't worry about it." Eldarin, at your service. What? How can I help the two of you?
I guess we're just trying to become better acquainted with the other explorers here.
Always good. Always good. The two of us, we really could have used a bit more acquaintanceship. It's like, yeah. Well, I feel like I knew everyone. It's just a lot of people didn't like a lot of people they look. I became friends with everyone I could have been friends with, man. It wasn't really my choice, man. It was when Aiden went off. I didn't really have much options, you know. Yes, it's good to get acquainted. Those of us who all know each other should all know each other. People of the Adventuring Guild should know all the others of the Adventuring Guild. So,
Well, who do you know here?
well, that's Hogak there, the one that's drunk. You're probably not going to be able to talk to Hogak today. He's been having. Well, again, we're not liable to talk about that right now. But, other than that, Hogak, Frederick, and I are the three here that are actually of silver rank and higher. Hogak there respect the rank. I will just say that. The rest of the other people at the high tiers have been off on quests. There was a sudden Let's put it this way. There was a sudden deluge of quests, and they've all been off on their adventures, and haven't really. We just happen to have chosen a poor week to be meeting everyone. Let's use that. Usually these tables are full. Today they are not.
Interesting.
As I said, this is a full bar, a full tavern on the 3rd floor. There's 8 people, plus the bartender.
Yeah.
Anyways, and Frederick's like, oh, by the way, how do you guys fight? Like, it's always good to know what everyone brings to the table. Like, it's good to know if someone can heal, but if they can do other things. Like, we once had a guy who spent all their time just healing, and it turns out they could like do things like turn undead and just like do explosions in a close radius. We never knew because we only use them to heal, and like, always good to know how other people can fight. What kind of skills do you guys got?
I'm gonna go ahead and give this guy a little glare, and say it's a bit much to be asking for somebody you just met.
Fair enough, but you're adventurers, so it's kind of good to know the skills of other adventurers. You know, maybe one day we'll work together. I'm pretty good at. Let's call the tactic knife in the back. Yeah, I'm really good at that. It makes it's a little hard to talk to people. Some people don't like that. Some people have this honor and let's not murder the innocents or. But like, dude, like this is what you do, you know. And it's like to be fair, that one person that I'm talking about, they weren't. I didn't actually kill them. Don't worry. It was just misunderstandings, man. Happens sometimes. You just do what you can.
Yeah, I can relate. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Frederick Wise.
Frederick. Okay, good. I'm gonna keep that, Mr. Wise. I'll keep that on lockdown. But yeah, I can relate to that. I like to try and give a swift blow when they're not looking in my direction, if I can.
Always good. A man of culture, a man of respect. Always good to have that sort of skill. Always good. I'm assuming, and Eldarin kind of just. I see you, on the other hand, are quite agile with a blade. And I bet that weapon of yours on the side is no joke.
What, this little thing? It's just some pistol I keep around.
Fair enough. Good to know what you're attached to and what you're not attached to. I myself have found peace where I am, and could do much with little. I fill out the rules that are missing, more often than not. Oof. Well, if you're trying to acquaint yourself with everyone, do know that the two of us, Frederick and I, find ourselves at this tavern more often than we wish to be. Yeah, it's hard getting that. Usually you like a third person for a job, you know, like, and sometimes we're overqualified, so that we need more money. Other times we're underqualified. Anyways, yeah, feel free. Go. If you're going to acquaint with everyone, you should finish acquainting with everyone. Night's starting to get late.
Oh yeah, definitely. Cassius, do you want to go? Sit at that table over there? That's away from the talkative lady.
Yep, there's.
Yeah.
I think there's.
We have one table left, or
I think. Well, he's at the table as well, but Iric, Hogak, I did say, is basically so drunk you probably can't talk to them very effectively. And if you want to talk to the bartender.
thinking about talking to the bartender.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we should probably do that.
All right. Up to the bartender.
All right. You can easily call them over.
I think it'd be better if I could just one-on-one with them.
All right.
Or two-on-one.
So, yeah, it just looks like they're just washing dishes in the back while there's not many people drinking, so they're just able to wash dishes and just do general cleaning while waiting for things. They see you come up to the bar and they walk up. Hey, how can I help you two? How's it going?
Nothing. We were just trying to meet everyone here, get acquainted and whatnot. You know, drill.
Well, it's a very approachable group of people right now. By the way, I'm Michelle, in case you needed to call.
Michelle, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How long you been working at this bar?
Let's see. So, actually, I used to be an adventurer, but I retired technically this happened a few weeks ago, I think. It was very close. I don't really keep track of date. I've had other things on my mind, as you can guess. But yeah, you you know how the bar works when you've been staying here drinking and, you know, being with the other adventurers for long enough. So yeah,
Is there, is there anybody here who is newer, who hasn't
you
been here very much?
um honestly, so right, we're not allowed to talk. Anyways, yeah, Eldarin, Frederick, and Hogak are really the only people here that aren't new. Everyone else,
Hmm.
you guys came here today, just today. Oh, well, I guess the three dwarves there, they came the day before, or no,
Um,
a few days before that. Sorry.
if you don't mind me asking, I'm not sure if it's too personal. What made you retire?
I I just realized that this is what I was here for, and there's something I was looking for, and I found it.
Are you with that?
Hmm. I didn't hear the question.
Oh no, I said I can't argue with that.
Yeah, just a lot of people can't stop like gathering gold and stuff, but I didn't. I didn't need treasure. I just needed. She just like closes her eyes and gives a smile. Anyways, is there anything I can get you?
I'm good. I just wanted to come meet you.
Well, I appreciate it. Glad to meet you too. Oh, I didn't get your name. So I'm Michelle, and you are
Cassius.
Cassius. All right, nice to meet you, Cassius.
Gilbert, Captain Gilbert.
Oh, Captain Gilbert. I'll make sure to call you Captain. All right.
It's a good ring. It's easy to remember.
If you don't mind, I am just adding this so I can remember Cassius, because you constantly refer to yourself as that. I want to make sure it's easily accessible for me to see the phrase Cassius on your title card. You know. I just added it to your name and players.
All right.
All right. So it's just Eric, which if you want to skip that, that's okay because the night's about to wind down.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you probably skipped that.
All right. So as the night, so if I may, I would like a list. What do you guys? Who do you guys think are the villains?
Okay.
Actually, hold up.
So,
Let's do this properly. So, um, after the night comes, the you guys as well as the group of Erics, and the the three there, the Valanth, the orc, and the elven looking lady person. They all are called downstairs, and you're brought into that meeting room, the one with 12 chairs, and just each of you are at a chair. And the person again is finishing up some quick paperwork, pulls out a notepad. It's like, all right, well, if every one of you, and he pulls and like rips out paper and hands some to each of you. If you all could write down which person here you all think is the villain, or the villains, however else you see it. If you found nothing, feel free to leave the page blank. And with that, you guys now have the paper. What if you guys want to write into the chat just the names that you think are, or the people you think are the villains?
do I get a chance to discuss with Captain, or is it like?
It's
Can't do
supposed to be
that.
individual, but you can just say it out loud and talk with them. Yeah, I'll allow you to discuss. I'll allow you to discuss.
Okay. So. Okay, so there was my main two right now are are young Eric,
Yeah, the
uh,
one that talked about killing people. Yeah.
and then Mr. Wise, who was kind of shrugging off killing innocents. That didn't slip past me. I got that.
Yeah,
He did say that real fast, but I got it. But
he did mention that.
but
So young Eric,
I'm-
Frederick.
I'm also I have like this other I have this big doubt in the back of my mind. My gut is like maybe no one here is actually a villain, and this is like a thing where it's like these are your teammates. They're not villains. Get with it,
Yeah.
you know. So it's those two, and then that option that I'm stuck between.
I yeah, because I feel like the talkative girl is so over the top that it's just not her. I think it's one of
Yeah,
those things. I think it's one of those things where, like it could be her,
imagine if
but
it
then
is.
it's like it's so obvious that I don't think it is. Definitely have those same suspicions. Bartender is kind of iffy, but I don't know. I don't really know enough about the bartender.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't say if there'd be any repercussions to uh getting it wrong, did he? He just said it was a test.
Yep.
It's a test. We already passed the random rod test.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Um, I think I'm gonna take a risk, and I'm just gonna leave my notepad blank.
All right.
I think okay. I was gonna say Frederick, but then I realized if Frederick's a villain, then the elf guy also would probably have to be one if they travel together. So I feel like that's kind of a package deal. I'm I'm also gonna leave a blank because of that.
All right. So everyone gets past their papers. The person's flipping through, and as they see the blank pages, they're, all right. So how many of you? So it seems some of the people here realize what's actually going on. I would like you to elaborate. Um, the the three of you that realized what was going on. If each of you could elaborate in your own way, how what was actually going on, I'd appreciate it to show the others. And the girl, Valance sits up and she's like, "Well, okay, I thought," and he goes, "Not you." And he looks to the elven looking person that had the two books, as well as the two of you.
Oof. Uh, well, I already know she doesn't talk, or maybe she does talk, and I don't know. Anyway, I stand up and turn toward the crowd. Um, the thing is, we're all colleagues. None of us should be looking at each other with doubt or like we're villains. We need to trust each other. We're working together. Our lives will be in each other's hands at some point. I think that's the message.
That's a good thing to acquire from it, but not actually what I was looking for. I do appreciate it, though.
I nod and sit back down.
And then I guess I'll stand up. And I'll pan around the room and say, "Some of you earned my respect." Looked over at the orc.
The orc also like give a good like.
Some of you annoyed the hell out of me. I look over at the girl in the dress.
What are you talking about? I wonder who annoyed the hell out of him. That person's a jerk. They're like whispering to the quiet person.
And then I say, "But despite all that, we're all here. We all want to have the same thing, despite our methods, murder or not. And I feel like I have to trust you, even though I don't like handing that out easily."
I do enjoy that both
Yes,
of
it
you
does.
chose trust as the main word here. Though the actual intent here is very simple. People have been infiltrating, trying to do bad things using our name. Your job was simply to make sure there were none of those there. Most people are just general people, and therefore, people understand that they're not villains. Those of you who had your names appear multiple times, I am going to have you under watch. The most important part of this was actually to have the people here, we know who to watch out for. Sometimes there are people that will do poor things. This does not make them villains. It just means they are people that did poor things. I do like the idea of trust. They can grow. They can definitely become better. But we have had people become slight villains. Go speak to Frederick if you really want information about what happens when you go a little too far south. Anyways, looking at the names, there are a few names that show up multiple times. Mr. Gilbert. Apparently, you made quite a presence in the names of others. I hope you don't mind. I am going to be deciding your first quest. In addition, dear Eric, Eric is like, we are also going to be deciding your first quest as well. Your next quest, as you had one first. I hope everything went well. Nonetheless, beyond that, it is good to know that you are all, for the most part, capable of becoming explorers. We will see how this pans out. It is definitely good to be able to trust one another. At times you will interact, and at times it will be good to interact with each other. Looking to the wisdom of others is a valuable way to prevent dying and having to learn that wisdom yourself. I'm sure you have other questions. Feel free to ask them now.
Is there any reason why you're going to be choosing my first quest?
Because there are those, when we did not pick their first quest, people have taken the first quest by, I will state there is a reason. You will find that in some planes, the Riftwind explorers have a very poor reputation. We are choosing your first quest to prevent such a reputation from occurring.
I'll accept that.
Will I be able to accompany him as a
Of course.
as a partner? Okay, wonderful.
You are people are expected to have parties of at least 3 whenever they can.
Okay.
Therefore, you are still correct. It is good to trust each other. It is good to know because you might have your lives on the line. When I say a minimum of 3, the first quest is actually going to be one for all 9 of you. Or all 8 of you. In addition, there may be some new people coming in. They will be assigned to your quest as well. First off, is there anyone here who cannot keep a secret? He looks directly at Valanth. He's like, oh, no, I can keep a secret. I keep many secrets. There's the one secret that, oh, wait, that was a test. I'm not going to say it. It's like, well, as you might know, Riftwind is not a normal plane, and therefore does not have any native wildlife. It's a simple city. So when I say that some of the buildings here have been dealing with a rat infestation, you have to understand, we have no idea where these rats came from. It's from another plane, interfered, somehow got past the guards, and has taken hold. They not only need to be exterminated, but completely removed. We are planning to hire an exterminator, but it will take them a good week or 2 before they make it here. We need you to help prevent these rats from getting out of control and spreading to many buildings. You will all take shifts. Some of you working each of you working in a different district that got infected by these rats. This will be a good chance for you to work together, because one of the things about quests is you shouldn't only consider completion of the quest, but also the desires of the people that wish for the quest complete. Tell me what desire I did not state now. Can you?
Desire.
What is an additional thing you can do that I did not state for your quest? I'm interested if you can see it.
Oh,
In addition to killing the rats, what else?
getting rid of them, like cleaning them up.
That's part of
Finding
killing
the
them,
source.
yes.
Finding the source.
finding the source.
Oh, I thought that was okay. Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes a quest will only list one theme and will not state the actual theme worth stating. If you do well, you may be able to choose your own quests from here on, but this first quest will be from all of you. We will begin setting up the shifts for tomorrow, and then we will go off and work on it. Thank you all for all becoming explorers. We'll see you all another day. It's good to start getting teams together, though, so where people can get teams, do try to get into groups of 3. And as he says that, the 3 Erics all immediately high-five each other.
Like,
The Valanth is like, oh my gosh, you two are it turns out that the 2 that are pretty quiet actually go right behind Valanth. He's like, oh my gosh, I have 2 friends. Oh, this is all perfect. Like, we all got this theme. We all got our awesome theme that we could do. It's so cute. Apparently they, you recognize, like, somewhere by, like, their dress that the 3 of them actually came from the same plane and are probably knew each other before they entered here as well.
Interesting.
So the 2 of you just need to find another person so you can begin your quest. Which, as I said, there are other people coming for this campaign, so that will be session 1, them joining your campaign to help you deal with some rats.
Sounds perfect.
I agree.
The general, clear out the rats from the basement. Don't you worry, I'll make it a bit more interesting than that.
It's like going to Haunting Broom Meadery in Skyrim and getting rid of the what are they called?
Yeah, the skeevers.
The skeevers. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
So is that a wrap for session 0?
As people are leaving, there is one last thing. The guy walks up. By the way, I believe you got in contact with with one of those Hands of Geo individuals. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
If they give you any offers about seeing the Geo, do not take them. This is a safety measure. I don't want to lose another adventure to that.
Noted. Yeah, we didn't talk
I told
much.
you he was creepy.
He simply thanked me and we were on our way.
I refuse to believe that's all he did.
Believe it or not, he was pretty upset about not being able to sell all of his merchandise.
I'm certain of that.
He didn't even try to sell me anything. I'll be honest, it kind of seems like we have a bad reputation in his mind.
This is all deception, correct?
What?
This is all deception, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So this guy, just in case you're wondering, this guy is a just by like his cloak, the fact that he has that dark theme, he is likely a pretty high level wizard. So if he is able to insight this, he's not revealing it, but.
You know what?
I'm just letting you know that
I can't.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, oh, I actually that it almost slipped my mind. You know, like they gave me this.
Fair enough.
Over the plate.
I could trade this in for direct gold. It is best not to use those coordinates, just to be clear.
Can I ask as to why?
Well, I guess I should explain what the Realm of Geo is. The Realm of Geo, every plane, usually we don't designate a name, or they designate a name for themselves. Their designated name was Geo, as Geo is the name of their elder brain that conquered the entire Underdark of their realm. If you enter the Realm of Geo, their elder brain, Geo, will enter your head and make you part of its hive mind. Unless you have protection against that. Unless you have protection against that. I'd rather not have other adventurers enter that hive mind. They don't come back. They rarely come back.
I see. Well, that's better off in your hands than mine.
It is. I will give you the gold value for it in return. And he just kind of pulls it back, reaches into one of his drawers, fiddles around, pulls out just a big stack of Riftwind gold currencies. So a thing about the gold is that gold, generally everyone comes to the agreement of how much gold is worth, but you know how like heads and tails of gold of coins have different faces and stuff? Each of those different faces are generally a way of showing off their like that plane what's important to them. It's a good way of having their history on a coin. Because like imagine you're in another world and you see the face of George Washington and see the phrase "In God We Trust." Like you know a bit more about America by seeing that, or like the bald eagle. Like at the very least, it adds curiosity and shows you about the world. So a lot of different planes have that on their coins. So while they have all around the estimated value, a lot of coins just have generally cool designs like that. Riftwind, on the other hand, is just the big R of Riftwind, and that's all it is.
Interesting.
Recognizable.
I seem to like this R.
Yeah.
It's the insignia. Yeah, it's the insignia of Narciso.
I hope I get to meet this Narciso fellow.
Perhaps one day. So, Ren, you actually know this. So the place of Riftwind was created by Narciso. Actually, no. You guess you wouldn't know this. It's like, yes. Narciso. You recognize that I am a child of Narciso, correct? Many of the people with the higher levels, and he shows his like dark gray, are parts of the Narciso family.
Would Ren know of this already?
You'd have some sense, definitely, but you'd also know that Riftwind was created something like 500 years ago, and the Narciso family's human.
Ah, okay.
Cassius, did that guy call you Ren? What's that about?
Wait, what?
I did tell you he's a high-level wizard.
I didn't. I thought that was you talking to me out of game. To be honest.
It might have been. I'm not sure if I said it, but if I did say it, it would be perfectly in his character to say it.
I know I said Ren because I was asking if Ren would know of this.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
Yeah, I don't think he asked for your name in particular.
Okay, never mind then.
I'm a little worried there, but I was like, oh God.
Already, it's over. Darn it.
Yeah, it's been blown, cover blown. Game over.
Yeah,
Glad I at least prepared those characters. Oof. So yeah, the thing is, you guys can travel around Riftwind a bit if you want, but you do have no money, and your first mission is set and cannot be taken until a third player joins in.
I would be good with calling it there.
Yeah, it's a decent stopping point.
How'd you enjoy it, by the way?
I actually liked it a lot. I like it's very nice to be able to get one of my favorite parts of D&D, like out of me. Like I love the roleplay part of it. So being able to have conversation and do what I think my character would do, I love that stuff, and that's been fitting really well with the campaign so far.
It was a fun introduction. I'm getting certain vibes from, like I don't know if this is intentional or not. I'm getting like a Made in Abyss whistle vibe from the tokens that people have, like the white, the light gray, dark gray.
It was supposed to be a ranking, but I'm totally down to take that and run with it.
Yeah, so that's just the vibe I got, and regardless of whether that's intentional or not, I'm really liking like the setting and everything.
Cool. Yeah. As the DM, the one complaint is there wasn't enough beer and pretzels in this session.
Oh, I was eating the entire time. I forgot to mention that.
These conversations, why did we have to wait till the very end to talk about them? Why couldn't we have, where you sat down for the campfire, you guys just stop and have a tangent about some stupid, enjoyable moment that happened? Gosh. One of my first D&D campaigns, we literally had days where we'd stop for D&D, and we'd literally play D&D for 5 minutes. And we'd be there for 3 hours.
Literally, like halfway through, my girlfriend came home and she brought like a donut, and I was just eating the donut while we were fighting.
I was,
Just,
I was having a muffin while we were fighting. That's so weird.
gosh, that's just so funny. Like, oh man, I'm getting messed up. Hum, nom, nom, nom. I wonder if I should
exactly
really
what's
put more
happening.
attention to this. Hum, nom, nom, nom.
I went to go take a bite when you were rolling damage, and I like, stopped mid bite to see if I was dead or not. I was like, oh, I'm only half.
That's great.
Muffin saved me.
I definitely think I could improve some things for the visual, but as a general rule, I did want to keep this more theater of the mind and focus on the attention between players to player than like all the music, all the cinematic. It's just like, it's the 80-20 principle. It takes 80% of my work to make all that stuff, and ends up with 20% better of a video, you know?
Oh, yeah, like what were you using for the background? I didn't have the stream open. Were you using Roll20?
I was literally using Roll20, and then I have just this little page theme, which is just my face, my usual background, just put in a Roll20 scene. So in the corner, they could see all the stuff we're interacting with, our roles. But
Oh yeah.
yeah. Whew. Gur, since you have information since you've played this before, how did the change to initiative feel?
Sounds like he hated it.
What?
There. Sorry. I had push to talk on. I completely forgot about it.
Alright. Well, it's probably useful when eating that donut.
Yeah, it's exactly what I had it on. But I actually really enjoy the system you have in place for the readying phase and all that, allowing us to switch stuff up a little bit, or maybe even try to get a better initiative, or risk it get a worse initiative.
Yep.
I like that a lot. It allows for more detail for your actions, maybe the NPC's actions for the ones dying off and the ones readying themselves. I like it a lot.
Also, I'm not sure if I said this, but at this readying phase, you can always just choose to reduce your initiative if you want to lower. So there's also a strategy of if you just need to take someone out, just like put your initiative near the bottom, attack, and then roll initiative, hoping to go faster than them to get another attack in.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Like that. Like I was hoping like the whole idea of that mechanic was to add strange versatility like that. Yeah, I do because in my base game there was also a mechanic of if no one rolls initiative, then everyone can start at initiative 0 and they all act at the same time. But I was having trouble, like, making that all make sense, you know. So I decided to throw that out for now. Just focus on the re-rolling initiative, see how that feels. Because then, like, an alert character could really make sure that every single time they're first in initiative.
I will say, as somebody who's never done this before, it made perfect sense how it was set up.
Oh, cool.
It was really well made.
Yeah. So a lot of that is the simplicity of 5th edition. Because, in case you're wondering, T-Lore, 5th edition, the reason it's so popular is because it's the least complex version of Dungeons & Dragons, while still having all the variety and I am my character feel that 5th edition needed. Also, by the way, so I'm like trying to decide how much experience to give you guys. I'm thinking, I'm gonna just go with 200 experience points for each of you.
Yeah, there's XP.
Yep. So the idea is it's milestone, but I'm using the XP system to get a sense of how far down the milestones you are.
All right.
Generally speaking, I want to make sure all players are of the same tier, though I'm okay if they're of different levels. That being said, Gur, as you probably know between the difference between level 1 and level 2, I hope that everyone's at level 2 around the same time.
Yeah, level 3 is where it really takes off, but
It
yeah,
it is, but
it's a
the
huge
difference between
difference.
level 1 and level 2 is pretty huge.
It is. It absolutely is.
So T-Lord, would you? I love. Guess what the difference between level 1 and level 2 is?
I'm gonna assume like 2 stat points.
Your health is doubled almost.
Oh, what? Okay, that's
Um,
pretty useful.
so basically at each level you gain around the same amount of health. So think of it your health as a number multiplied by your level. Therefore, right now it's multiplied by 1.
Oh, okay. I
You
see.
notice how
I see.
how short that combat was as you nearly died in 2 hits?
Yeah, I thought that was a bit weird.
As the
Very first
durable
fight.
fighter with the riposte ability?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's level 1 for you. Level 1 scary.
Yeah, I didn't expect the first fight to go that south.
Yeah,
I suppose, I suppose it was 4v1 at one point.
level 1 is quite literally like you're a baby.
Yep.
You're very fragile.
I love it. Okay, so I do love it though because it adds tension in every encounter, and that's actually why I want to make sure you're not at level 2 because that tension in every encounter is going to be important when I'm throwing rats at you.
Oh yeah,
Boy.
it just sounds like it's going to be a lot of enemies at once.
You can feel it now. I'm gonna get taken down by rats.
By the way, I am considering every time you switch from one quest to the next that's your time to make a long rest. So while technically this is only a 1-day rest, I am giving you back your hit dice, dear Ren.
You. I need them. Thank you.
Yep. Oof.
All right. I need to get ready to head out. It was definitely a fun session, and I guess just let me know when you're thinking about doing the next
Yep.
one. And
So I'm
I'll
thinking
clearly-
once every 2 weeks or once every 3 weeks.
whatever works with everybody.
Same day, same time.
Yeah,
All right.
that'd be good for me.
So let's see. So how's the 24th for you guys?
That should be good.
Yeah, I'd be good for that.
All right, I'm going to schedule it for the 24th, and we'll see from there.
All right, awesome.
All right.
It was nice playing with you guys.
Yep.
Yep.
It was awesome having you guys. Thank you very much for doing this. I know it's been the problem is I've been away from D&D so long, it's afflicting me. Like you saw, I felt like I did pretty poor in a few cases, but nonetheless, D&D. Whew. So glad to get this on my channel finally.
It was a lot of fun.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Peace, guys.
See ya.
See you guys.
Whew. All right. We're just gonna raid a channel, and I don't have any D&D channels that I watch, so we're just gonna raid Paranoid Gaming. They're just playing some Minecraft, chilling out. Something chill to watch until then. Everyone, have a wonderful time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day.